runs cold. We take our loot but don't get old.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eternal Challenger League. Guys, we are here on the 7th week, or I should say the 7th qualifier. And today we got some pretty fun show matches, so let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket for today. The first match is going to be a showdown between Loremaster of Sotek and Roz. So we do have a community favorite versus Roz, who said, I believe is one of the first tournaments he's played in quite some time, but again, a veteran of Total War and competitive gaming in general. Definitely going to be very fun. And then in the second round, we have Zardar Total War facing off against Yankee Mosh Pit. So guys, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed the intro and all the other fun shenanigans beforehand. Tattered Sails Shanty and all that fun stuff. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at the first match of the day. We do have our Wookiee up here blocking the army, so there can be no screen sniping going on. And yeah, it's going to be Loremaster of Sotek versus Roz. So Sotek is going to be playing Vampire Counts in the first game. And if any of you guys know Loremaster of Sotek, there is a particular lord that he's very fond of. So you guys are going to be quite excited to see this one in action. And Roz is going to be bringing the forces of the Empire. And also, we're fighting on the Altdorf outskirts, which is definitely one of the more thematic matches, more thematic maps for this matchup, right? You're fighting outside the city of Altdorf, which is the capital of the Empire. Thank you guys so much for joining. Yes, it is time. I'm sure Sotek will bring dinosaurs today. I would assume it's usually Vampire Counts and dinosaurs. He always plays them, so I'm pretty sure you guys will get some good Lizardmen action. So I'll let them know. We can get started when ready. Start when ready. Go, go. Yes, it is time. Hey, Dob Plays, thank you for the $10 donation. Wow, starting off strong. Dob Plays is going to be playing in our last qualifier. He has a spot reserved for that, so he's going to be the glorious final boss coming in next week. So that should be quite a bit of fun. So Dob, thank you so much for the $10 donation. And if you guys haven't seen Dob's channel, please make sure to check him out. He's I guess an OG of the multiplayer scene now. Oh, man, it's been a while since we've all started these channels, huh? Crazy stuff. Dob does indeed pay. Yes, yes. So yes, guys, for anyone who isn't familiar with the structure of this tournament, there's 8 qualifiers, and then each of the winners of those 8 qualifiers is then going to be going on to the grand finals, which is an 8-man tournament. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it all in one day. I've thought about doing that, but part of me wants to maybe get some other casters involved and have it be like a 2-day thing. So you can see here, these are the previous winners of the pieces of 8. So all of these individuals you see on the screen have won in previous weeks. So Ritus won, Flying Taco, Falcon, Exploding Hamster, Pippington, and Rigson. Winner of today's match will, of course, win the 7th piece of 8 and will be qualifying for the good times. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's kind of the general structure of things. The players right now are just getting their armies together for the final showdown. Well, I guess it's not the final. It's like the first, but it feels like the final showdown because they're on the Altdorf outskirts and they're using the Vampire Counts in the end. So get back to the lobby here. Wookiee is guarding the screen to make sure no screen sniping shenanigans are afoot. And yes, I'm sure Dov will bring Pistoliers, 100%. 100%. Your boy Roz about to bring it, huh? Well, if he doesn't bring Pistoliers, he'll be disappointed. So I'm definitely liking Sotek's army. Yeah, the Lord choice you guys are going to like quite a bit. It's a very, very fun Lord. Quite a popular one in the community. For good reasons, I would say. So yeah, the finals, we're not sure about the final date yet. So this is going to be the 7th qualifier. And probably in the next week or two, maybe just before Christmas, we'll have the 8th qualifier, the one that Dob Plays will be playing in. And after we get all 8 players, I basically have to coordinate with them and find a single date that works for all 8 of them, right? So that'll probably be in like mid-January, late January, I'm guessing. We're going to be getting sponsors, doing giveaways for that tournament. We're going to have custom art given away that's being designed by the lovely Lady Turin, my super hot wife. And yeah, going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are ready for that. As far as the Empire goes, Empire versus Vampire Counts is an interesting one. Empire typically will struggle to hang in the infantry game. Graveguard are very cost effective. I mean, greatswords can put up a decent fight, but even the standard Graveguard with the sword and shield with the bonus versus infantry can put up a really good fight against greatsword units. It's tough. The Vampire Counts have a lot of supporting elements like corpse carts and mortis engines, and it's a very technical fight for the Empire. Powder is obviously very important, isolating the big targets. So if they have like Blood Knights or mortis engines, Vargals, Vargeists, being able to net them down is very good. And you know, we could even see a Temple off Luminarch. That's something that I think we could see sneak into this matchup. It is it Helm and Gorst? Is that what you guys are wondering? Well, Gorst or go home. We'll see. We'll see. I think Misha is onto something, perhaps. Spartacus. You know, I actually thought it'd be really funny to do like a YouTuber calendar, like where like all these different, you know, like YouTubers and Twitch streamers get like a like a month. Would you guys like actually like that? Would that be like a funny giveaway to do during like the tournament if we just made like a really haggard one? Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments, or in chat as well as the comments. That would be something I'd be interested in for sure. Warrior Priest plus Halberds. Yeah, that could be something that could work for sure. Halberds are very effective. They have good armor piercing, decent leadership, high melee defense. And again, with the Empire, typically you're not going to win with your front line. You're going to win more with Cav and your isolation tools, in my opinion. So Demogryph Knights are pretty powerful. You can get nets, for example, on the Blood Knights and the heavy Cav of the Vampire Counts. You get the charge. They don't get their charge bonus. You have supporting elements like Earthblood and Warrior Priests, Witch Hunters for accusation to take out Lords and Heroes. There's a lot of different tools the Empire have. Granted, it's very micro-intensive, and it's certainly a little bit tough. Gorse, not the hero we want, but the hero we need. Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be kind of funny, the calendar. I mean, we wouldn't sell it. It would just be like a giveaway. Right? Just like giving away on stream or something. Yeah, Lady Turin had some really good ideas for that, for sure. It's Loremaster of Sotek. Yeah, Loremaster of Sotek is playing today. The YouTuber. If you guys haven't seen his channel, make sure to check him out. He does a lot of lore videos, and we're currently collaborating on a series right now, which is the Who Would Win series. And we're going to be jumping into doing the next one later tonight. We might record the 3rd episode, either later tonight or Monday or Tuesday. So we'll be jumping on that relatively soon. So the players are ready. Roz and Loremaster of Sotek here in the first best of 3 of the day. And again, thank you guys so much for joining. I see we already are close to 500 people after just a couple minutes. So thank you guys so much for your support. And yes, we are back at it again, Salty Saxon. That is very, very true. And Dov Pays coming out with the fat $10 right out of the gates. Thank you so much. Altdorf Outskirts, here we go. This is a good map. This is probably one of the best multiplayer maps in my opinion. It's just, it's well balanced, it's fun, it has a good combination of terrain, line of sight blocking, vanguard opportunities, but it's not like so shrouded that it's annoying. It's not like one of those Nagaron maps that's like just so many trees and forests you can't even see what's going on. It is a very, very good map in my opinion. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get rid of the army blocker here. Wookie will be back for the next game, don't you worry. And first, let's begin by taking a look at the armies of the Loremaster of Sotek. So firstly, the man himself, Heinrich Kemmler. So he's not going to be on his horse. Heinrich Kemmler does have the option to be mounted now, but it looks like he's going to be on foot. So he does have not all of the spells. He has pretty much everything except Curse of Years. So it looks like he wants some tactical options, but most likely he's just going to be using Raised Dead, Invocation, and summoning Krell. So Big Daddy Krell's going to be here, which is going to be great. On top of that, we do have an Necromancer, and this guy's just going to be a mana battery. This is something that we saw the Loremaster of Sotek do in the Everchosen Invitational. He simply hides a Necromancer in the shadows and uses it for the Forbidden Rod. He'll be stroking that rod all day, I'm sure. Over here we do have a Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestone, which is going to be providing a couple different buffs. It does buff the just healing, as well as the Vigor Mortis, which gives melee attack and melee defense, which is going to be quite good and tasty. Front line's going to be a combination of standard Graveguard, Spearmen, and Zombies, and then he does also have a couple groups of Graveguard with great weapons, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're... I could have sworn I saw them in the lobby, but let's go ahead and check here in the back. So yeah, there's the great weapons here in the back. So I like that. Having the standard Graveguard are going to be a good counter against most state troops, and the great weapons are kind of keeping it honest against great swords. So that's his main core, but the real meat of his army is going to be out here. He does have 2 groups of Blood Knights. So Blood Knights are very powerful. They trade pretty, effectively with most of the Empire heavy cav. It's a very messy affair, but Blood Knights are just straight gangsters. Invocation and a Hex stacking on them, and Von Hells can make them pretty powerful. And yeah, it's just a fun cav fight in this matchup, really. Kind of cool not to see, the heavy monsters. On top of that, Loremaster of Sotek does also have the Feasters in the Dusk. These Crypt Ghouls right here. And yeah, they're pretty good at sneaking into the back line, getting into the cannons, the guns, but you have to be careful because they're very squishy. So if they get like spotted by Reichsguard or any heavy cav of the Empire, these guys are going to get rode into the Shadowrun. So yeah, that looks like it's it for the Vampire Counts. Looks like another Vanguard of Direwolves here in the back. And for the Forces of Roz, looks like in the front line he's got Swordsmen, 2 groups of Halberds on the flanks, which I like quite a bit. Helps fend off Blood Knights, just kind of gives you good, control on the sides of your formations. On top of that, he does have a Jade Wizard with Earthblood Regrowth and the Shield of Thorns, which is a buffed ability. So Shield of Thorns definitely is quite a bit better than it used to be. So it gives physical resist and weapon damage. Just very, very cost effective at this point. So I like that quite a bit. Warrior Priest here is having the Grand Hammer, the looks like the Soulstorm. Not Soulstorm, what is that ability called? The Firestorm. Soulfire. Soulfire, Shield of Faith, and the Grand Hammer of Sigmar. On top of that, we do have Karl Franz on horse in the back, which isn't going to be a bad choice. Karl Franz can definitely lay a bit of a spanking on Heinrich Kemmler in like a duelist situation. Plus on horseback, he's going to be able to help out against the Blood Knights, which is going to be pretty fun. So Knights of the Blazing Sun here, some heavy cav, definitely going to be helpful against infantry, but Blood Knights will spank them. And he has 2 groups of Outriders and a deep Vanguard. Now, this is risky. I think having them maybe a little bit higher and tighter to the army would be a little bit better, maybe. Simply because if they get isolated back here, they're going to get cornered by the Fellbats and, all these supporting units. But, yeah, we'll see. So let the players know to start when ready. Start when ready. All right. Thank you so much for the donation, Nico Mueller. The Nico Mueller. I don't know what the translation is on that, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. Welcome, welcome. It's the big 100, controversial. You watch Tabletop Tactics, don't you, Mark? That's what that's from. Controversial. It's controversial. I love that. It's a great channel. Yes, we do have a Discord channel. Misha and a couple of the other admins will be linking it throughout the stream. Misha, thank you so much for your support, by the way. It does not go unnoticed. I really appreciate all your help here on these streams. Vastly improves the quality. So we are here, game 1 between Lore Master of Sotek, who's going to be leading the forces of the Vampire Counts, and Heinrich Kemmler against the forces of Roz, who's going to be leading the Imperial armies. And it looks like Karl Franz is going to be defending outside of Altdorf. Man, Altdorf, wouldn't it be cool if they actually had that actually looks really cool, like those streets. I'm like trying to peek over. If they had like those street fights and everything, man, that would be incredibly awesome. So it looks like there's some last minute adjustments on the Vanguard as Roz does get the Outriders. So it looks like Roz may have switched. He did leave one group in the back there, but the other one is being switched onto the flank here. I think the Outriders probably should lurk in this general area. They're a very good answer against Blood Knights. And yes, Blood Knights have shields and you know, some defensive capabilities, but the armor piercing of the Outriders is very, very good. I mean, they have, you know, decent range at 130. They're very fast. They can outrun the Blood Knights. And yeah, they can kind of drag them down. So I like Outriders as a pick quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Mark. Tabletop Tactics is amazing. Their bat reps are so good. They're so good. I would love to play on one of those. All right, so we're going to see Lore Master of Sotek coming in with Heinrich on foot. So that's kind of a classic. Just for anyone who's wondering, Heinrich Kemmler can actually ride a horse now. That was something that was changed in the Curse of the Vampire Coast. Before, he only had the foot option, but now he can actually be put on a horse, which makes him a little bit of a bigger target, and also makes it so he could potentially take more from like charges and things like that. But on foot, he's a true OG. This is, I guess, how he's meant to be played. He's got his sword here. I wonder what mounts he has in lore. That'd be kind of interesting to ask Sotek about that later. So the forces of the Vampire Counts are going to be advancing. Definitely going to put the burden on the Empire. The Empire is going to be the ones to have to deal with this aggressive force, right? The two Blood Knights are going to be staying together. There is no net of Amnitok play coming in from the Empire, so you don't really have to worry too much about those guys being pinned down with like a net or something and locking them in place. And it looks like the Feasters in the Dusk are going to be lurking in the shadows as well. Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be advancing. Probably trying to come and get a free charge here because this looks pretty juicy, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to go in here and test it out. But it looks like they do discover the Feasters in the Dusk right here. So he probably should pull back. Although, oh no, he's going to go for the charge and he doesn't see the Blood Knights yet. So the two Blood Knights are coming in. The Knights of the Blazing Sun, oh, it's a trap. So these guys have poison, which is going to be really bad. These guys are now at 54 speed. Oh no. And the red host is going to be advancing from the forest. The Blood Knights coming out for the counter charge. Roz notices immediately and pulls back, but a lot of these Knights of the Blazing Sun are not going to escape the charge of the Blood Knights. And they're definitely going to take a little damage, but oh man, he's taking some heavy casualties there. It looks like he's lost 3 or 4 models. Outriders coming in with Overwatch Fire, so very good play from Roz, kind of responding to that, and he does at least get some damage here. But Von Hels has been popped on these Blood Knights, which is going to put them up to 87 speed, and they're definitely going to be able to kill those Knights of the Blazing Sun. So a beautiful bait and switch there from Lore Master of Sotek, kind of catching him in the forest there. And he's still just chasing that. Von Hell's making them so fast. 87 speed for like heavy cav that are this powerful is pretty insane, right? So the Outriders have to fall back. They do a little bit of damage, but yeah, nothing really to the Blood Knights. I mean, those shields helping quite a bit. So very, very nice ambush there from Lore Master of Sotek. It's a trap. I mean, I would have fallen for that trap too. You see some Feasters, you're like, oh, I caught them. But man, what a beautiful bait there from Sotek. He's able to get rid of essentially like 1,100 gold, right? And he shatters them. So those Knights of the Blazing Sun are offline. The Empire is already on its back foot here, right? So the Vampire Counts are going to be advancing forward. The Empire is eagerly awaiting. The Warrior Priest here, of course, can be engaging and buffing up the front line. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, the Vampire Counts have a pretty angry force here, and those two Blood Knights are going to be putting a ton of pressure here. Oh, and Sotek does have some Dire Wolves in the back, so I miss these guys. Dire Wolves are so good against Outriders. These guys have, you see that when they go through the lip there? 95 speed against 84. This is looking pretty grim for the Empire already. These Dire Wolves, I mean, Sotek just with the flanks and the ganks and just the ambushes doing great work here. These Outriders are pretty much 100% done. The Blood Knights and the Doggos are probably going to chase those guys down. These other Outriders should probably fall back to the main formation and hope that they can, you know, be defended by the halberds and the spears, because these Blood Knights are going to corral them. I mean, there's not much space here in the corner of the map, so it's going to be a little bit tough. And yeah, I don't know, look at that. These Outriders here are pretty much done for. Sotek could potentially collapse inward and just crush these guys. Other Blood Knights could go in, and yeah, it looks like the Knights of the Red Keep are able to catch these Empire troops. So really good play here from Sotek so far. He's definitely, you know, being pretty sneaky for a Vampire Count. And here comes the front line. So the Tithe is going to be engaged. It looks like Karl Franz is going to be engaged with his men. Swordsman doing some spinning attacks, all kinds of funny business. And of course, Krell has been summoned. So Krell is here, and he's probably going to start going after Karl Franz, I would imagine. Yeah, it looks like he was targeting Karl, but Karl's like, nope, he nopes out of there pretty quick. And the Great Swords are going to be fighting against Sternsmen, who do have Von Hels, which probably means they're going to win that one. And these Outriders have been doing a valiant effort trying to run. They're literally running circles around this obelisk back here, but the Blood Knights are going to corral them. And oh man, these Outriders are just in such a rough situation as the Blood Knights are able to hunt them down. They're most likely going to have to retreat into Altdorf here, because this is not looking good for the Empire in the front line. In the meantime, some of the Outriders with grenade launchers have come around the back, but Lore Master of Sotek is very privy to that, and the Spearmen with shields are able to kind of intercept them and pin them in place. Other ones coming from the flank. And oh man, the Empire is looking in a little bit of a tough situation. Big Daddy Krell's going to be coming in with the steel chair. He's got his battle axe, and he's going to be karate chopping some of these guys. And the corpse cart here also providing massive buffs. However, the Empire is responding. They're dropping the Shield of Thorns, Shield of Faith, the Hammer of Sigmar, all these different goodies, which is really helping them grind out this front line. But even still, the Vampire counts just have such a numbers advantage here. Oh, look at that. And Sotek actually puts them in a very narrow formation and marches them through this tight formation. He's going to get into the back. He's going to rear charge these great swords. Heinrich Kemmler, of course, is there with the Tomb Blade, which is going to also buff them. And yeah, it looks like the Blood Knight play has just been off the hook. Karl Franz somehow gets surrounded in the back here. He's just getting absolutely destroyed right here. You can see the Blood Knights are not going to let him escape. I don't know how he ended up back here, but I think he maybe came back to just charge those guys. I don't know. Yeah, maybe something happened where he was like just chasing the dogs and the Blood Knights like collapsed on him. But yeah, this looks like it's going to be game one for the Lore Master of Sotek. Some beautiful, I mean, it's a fast game, but it was still very like good play from Sotek, right? He was able to get beautiful ambushes. He had pressure from all angles, right? He had guys coming from the forest back here. He had guys coming from this forest. I mean, Sotek was all over the place. So the Vampire Count's army is going to continue to grind through the forces of the Empire. It looks like Heinrich Kemmler throwing a nice little Sparta kick there on those greatswords, and there you see they're probably going to be shattering from his Chaos Tomb Blade and all that other pressure here. In the middle, we have 80 greatswords. We do have some swordsmen here. The Warrior Priest, of course, giving some really good buffs, and the Vampire Counts are taking a bit of damage here, right? Like their skeletons and other chaff units are getting worn down, but Karl Franz in the back being spanked by these double Blood Knights is definitely not fun. So right here, you can see that the Blood Knights are probably going to be charging in for a rear charge. The Empire forces are completely surrounded, so I mean, he put up a good fight for sure, but those ambushes really and just the pressure from multiple angles, that's why when you're playing against Vampire Counts, if you're going to use Outriders, you want to keep them higher and tighter to your formation. And the reason you do that is simply because you can fall back to your halberds and you're not going to get pinned in place as much. So Sotek coming in with the erect victory right there. Man, that was brutal. Those Blood Knights just pursuing and using the Von Hells to allow them to catch the Outriders, because Outriders have like 84 speed or 85, and when you give them the Von Hells, they get up to like 85 or 86. They get that massive charge. The Blood Knights, the Bats, it was just a very, very solid play. So let's go ahead and update this 1-0 for the Lore Master of Sotek. And where is this? Gold score. And remember, the first two matches of the day are best of 3, and then the finals is going to be best of 5. So Sotek, if he's able to win this game, will be moving on to the finals to face the winner of Zardar, Total War, and Yankee Moshpit. Definitely quite a bit of fun. So let's go ahead and jump back here, get the army blockers up. And Sotek, of course, going to the Lizard Men. The people wanted it, and, he provides. And he provides. Yeah. It was one-sided, but, that's the nature of the game. Sotek had a pretty good game there. Yeah, you need to keep your Outriders. Vampire counts, like, if you're playing Vampire counts against Empire, you're always going to have, like, dogs and fellbats and a ton of harass tools, right? So you're really going to want to make sure that you're, if you're playing against that and you're playing a powder-centric faction, you either go all in on the melee. Like, honestly, going like Demogryph Knights and just like heavy infantry and just numbers can do pretty well against Vampire counts, actually. But still, it's a very technical game for sure. Yeah, and he lost the Knight to the Blazing Sun right away, which, honestly, it was a good trap by Sotek. He kind of put the Feasters in the Dusk in a place where it kind of was like, oh, it looks like they're, they're kind of caught out in the open, right? And then suddenly the Knights of the Blazing Sun go in. But, I mean, Roz had a really good reaction, though. He pulled back immediately. Like, as soon as those Blood Knights were revealed, there was no delay. He pulled back. But, unfortunately, the Von Hells plus the poison from the Feasters was able to kind of pin them in place. It was a really good play. I mean, Roz tried and, did well in some respects, but ultimately Sotek just had, all the tricks and schemes. He just played very well. So you definitely, I wouldn't, so much knock the play of the Empire as I would give credit to Sotek in that matchup. And also, after we finish this particular league, so next week is going to be the last qualifier and then the grand finals, we're actually going to be having some, flash tournaments kind of in the style that we used to have. We'll also be having some best of 5s and best of 7s between, two players who want to settle some beef or, 2v2 tournaments. It's going to be fun. Donating 50 for Queen Bess. You better bring Queen Bess, Roz. Hope you're listening. So that's it, guys. Hey, you're welcome, Mason. I do. I post all of them. I do. All right, I'm going to go get some more water real quick, I think. No, I have a little bit less. Hey, Armando, this isn't there's a request section in the Discord where you just turn league requests, where you just say that you want to play, and I'll get you in one of the future seasons. The seasons are going to be timed with big content releases. So whenever there's like a DLC or a new race pack or lords, or probably not like just like, you know, free LCs, but whenever there's like a major DLC, there's going to be a season. So it's not going to be something that is going on like all year round. It's just going to be probably a couple times a year whenever they release DLCs and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be good. Yeah, I would assume these are on US servers, but I mean, most of the players, or many of our players, are European, so I don't think it really matters. Yeah. Heinrich Kemmler did some work. We'll see. Sotek, I think, is definitely going to bring an interesting build here. And I mean, the big thing in this matchup when you're playing the Lizardmen is just to make sure that you have answers for the deck droppers, because deck droppers are so annoying. The handgun variant, if they're able to just sit and shoot at any of your armored big targets, including your Lord, they're just going to get put in a trash can. So you really need to make sure that you have, ample tools to kind of deal with deck droppers. And if you do, honestly, it's not that bad of a matchup. Like, it can be done. I think Dinos have some decent tools here. Granted, I think Vampire Coast is a little bit stronger overall as a faction, but it's certainly doable, especially for a specialist like Lore Master of Sotek. Yes. Wookiee, I have Wookiee up, right? We have rules in this particular tournament. So we're using rules that were provided by Shetland Apache and Pippington and a bunch of fine gentlemen over in the tournament Discord. And it severely limits mass kiting builds. You can only have a certain number of units. There's caps. So you still have to have some standard infantry. And if you're going to be going with, let's say 6 kiting units or whatever your army permits, everyone is a little bit different. The rules of engagement stipulate that you have to be engaging with something. So you have to be engaging with your skirmish cav, and you can only have so many that like you can't base your entire army around it per se. I mean, you kind of can, but the rules of our tournament help quite a bit with those type of games where you're just being mass kited and everything. So the tournament scene, of course, is a little bit different than ladder. Ladder, of course, is the Wild West. You can bring like whatever you want really in any combination, and just but in this, there's severe limitations on that kind. We don't use any mods or anything. It's just like unit limits and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. This is not on the beta patch. The beta patch will be coming out. I don't know when it actually comes out, but I would assume in the next few weeks. We're not using the Festog update. No. The tournament is going on right now. This is a qualifier, and the finals are going to be. We're not sure. Probably in January. So. Yeah, those will be really fun. That's going to be like a big all-day tournament and everything. Don't worry, my hands are going to be... They'll survive. I have a lot of games ready to go up on the channel right now, too. I got like 7 or 8 really good replays for you guys. They're all casted and everything. So far, just a bit of a recap. So we had game 1 between Lore Master of Sotek and Roz, and start when ready. And Sotek was able to take the first game in a Vampire Count versus Empire game, and that's definitely a hard matchup for the Empire, in my opinion. It's very doable, but... It's tough. And Sotek was able to get some beautiful ambushes, just great stuff, and he was able to take the game from there. It was kind of a bit of a landslide. Yeah. The next versus video that I'm going to be doing with Lore Master of Sotek will probably come out midweek, Wednesday through Friday, in that time frame. We might record it tonight. We might record it tomorrow night. It's going to be one of those days. So we got some good stuff going. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. Tony Ferguson is the... I got an ankle pick a Morncoal. That's pretty funny, Zang. Yeah, there were some really good UFC fights on last night, actually. There was a fight with Edson Barbosa that was just insane. Yeah, that's my dog, Wookiee. That's my dog, Wookiee. Yeah, we're doing another Who Would Win. We're going to record it in the next few days. I like the Festog update. There's a couple things that I would like to see change, but I think that a lot of the buffs to like Skaven and potentially Lizardmen are simply going to come when their DLC comes eventually. So I really think that Creative Assembly probably isn't going to touch the balance of the Dinos and the Skaven too much until they get their DLCs. And then they're going to be super beastly, right? But until then, it's going to be kind of the status quo. But other than that, it's fine. I think there are some factions that are quite a bit stronger than the others, but it is what it is. Yeah, Vargulfs are scary for sure. Greatswords are decent. I mean, Empire, pound for pound, is going to be a little bit weaker across the board as it pertains to their infantry, but you have to compensate with other tools. They have pretty good skirmish cav. They have really good heavy cav. Demogryph Knights are some of the best cav in the game. And, they have access to Earthblood and healing. They have pretty powerful sniper. They can really goon your lords very, very quickly here. All right. Oh, man, looks like a fun army here. That's a very unorthodox Vampire Coast army. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that off, and we're back in the game. So thank you guys so much for joining. We're here with Game 2 between Lore Master of Sotek and Roz. I'm sure a lot of the people are going to be cheering for the Lizardmen, as they are usually an underdog in this matchup, in my experience. Let's go ahead and take a look at the armies of the Vampire Coast. So for the Lord, we do have Count Noctilus on foot, Invocation of Nehek and the Drowned Dead. Pretty much a standard kit. Not going to be on his big Colossus, of course. And he's honestly pretty good on foot. He has anti-large, he has armor piercing, pretty good against Dino Lords, and a beautiful kit of spells. So Count Noctilus is a very, very powerful Lord. For the rest of his army, it looks like we do have a combination of Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs with polearms, and standard variants are going to make up the front core to take the initial beating. A couple groups of Sirens, which I like quite a bit. They have good armor piercing. They also cause terror, which can be useful against some of the skinks and things like that. And I think even Saurus are not immune to psychology. So these guys are going to be good. And they also have AP against the big dinos. And it looks like he does also have a couple groups of Rotting Prometheans. So he's got some big angry crabs, which are going to be the roadblocks. So, the real meat of the army, 120 armor and pretty good armor piercing. And on top of that, he does have Depth Guard. So Depth Guard with polearms, I think, are one of the weaker units. I mean, they just don't seem to ever pay for themselves. I mean, yes, if they get an ideal surround on a big dino, they're going to kill it. But I usually think it's better just to go with like the cheaper polearms. But personally, I mean, maybe he'll make them work. He might have tried this build out. So he does have two groups of the Depth Guard with polearms, if I'm not mistaken. Is it two or no? Just one. And then one standard group. I really do like the standard Depth Guard. They're really good against Saurus and Skinks. They can just cut through them all day and they take very little damage in return. So yeah, we're going to see how these Depth Guard go. Roz definitely has a pretty fancy little army here, and it looks like up in the skies, no deck droppers, just Fellbats. So yeah, a little bit unorthodox. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Excuse me. Must have been something caught in my throat. Barely any range. It's kind of a Vampire Coast rush army, and these can work. They can catch people off guard. I mean, so maybe Sotek is going to be expecting like a ton of powder and the more traditional Vampire Coast, but I really do like this army quite a bit here from Roz. And for the forces of Sotek, two groups of Pterodon Riders out on the flanks, which is a really good choice. Pterodon Riders are pretty much one of the better counters that the dinos have against deck droppers, especially the handgun variant. They can chase them, and yeah, they just do work. So he has two groups of Pterodon Riders, one group of the Clever Girls out here on the far side. So the Clever Girls definitely ready to go, and they're basically just like, dinosaur hounds. They can't really kill much of anything. They'll probably lose to pretty much everything on the roster, but they do give you backline pressure and the ability to crumble things, and also some battlefield control. And aside from that, skink cohorts with javelins in the front line. He does have one group of skink skirmishers over here. And he does also have two groups of Saurus warriors, which pretty much the staple of the Lizardman Empire. A couple spears on the flanks, which are going to be much needed against these big rotting Prometheans and some of these other tools over here. And it looks like Temple Guard as well. So Temple Guard are going to be pretty damn good against Prometheans, but we're going to see. I mean, the Sirens and the Depth Guard definitely going to be scary for this front line. Croxigor's here. He's got a Rev Crystal, and for his Lord, he does have Krokar on foot with Hand of the Gods. So we're going to have a Krokar versus Noctilus duel, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. We have a Skink Priest with Heavens, with the Wind Blast, as well as the Curse of the Midnight Wind. So that's going to be quite a bit of fun. In the back, we do have Cold Moon Knights, and so he's got plenty of anti-large options. This is going to be a pretty interesting fight for sure. So start when ready. So good luck to both Roz and the Lore Master of Sotek. This is going to be it. It is time. The time is now for a showdown between the Skink Priest with Lord of Heavens. Lord of Heavens is going to be pretty nasty. If he's able to line up those Depth Guard and get some really good Wind Blasts, ooh man, that's going to be good and tasty. It's going to be so good and tasty. Take my energy, Ross. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. I like Ross's army. It's very unorthodox. In my builds against the dinos, I usually use either, I'll use Count Noctilus and, a ton of powder units and just halberds everywhere. And then, or I'll use, Celestra. Celestra is really good because you can actually summon her knights to chase down skinks and stuff like that. So he has some really good, tools she brings to the table. And the crab summons are very powerful as well. Yes. It is time. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see if the Red Host, the forces of Lore Master Sotek, can advance here and put some pressure here on the Vampire Coast. So right now, he's going to be advancing a little bit. Oh man, I feel a sneeze coming on. This could be catastrophic. Oh, it's going to ambush me in the middle of the cast. Anyway, so Skink Skirmishers are going to be moving up, maybe poking some of these, the Tide of Skill. That wouldn't be a bad target. These guys are definitely, very squishy, to say the least. They have 15 armor, no missile resist or anything like that. So the Saurus and the rest of the troops should do a pretty good job here in the front line. Skink Priest is going to be advancing as well, can be casting Wind Blast. Wind Blast is going to be good against Sirens as well. Aside from that, what magic damage does he have? Doesn't look like too much. Anyways, the Fellbats looks like they did take a bit of an engagement with the Pterodon Riders, took a little bit of poke. And here comes the crabs and the halberds, and man, this is a pretty heavy army here in the front line. And it looks like these Saurus are going to be charging in with the shields, going to be fighting the Tide of Skill, the Sirens going as well. But the Croxigors with their spanking paddles are actually pretty much a hard counter against these Depth Guard, right? A Depth Guard with polearms can do a little bit better against them, but for the most part, those Croxigors are going to be in good shape. Roz does respond by sending Count Noctilus in. Count Noctilus does have a halberd, he has anti-large, and he gets a really juicy invocation of Nehek here, which is going to top off these Depth Guard, help keep these Sirens going, and it looks like Krokar is going to be piling in as well. In the meantime, the Pterodon Riders are taking out the Fellbats in the skies. They have some support from the Skink cohorts on the ground. Saurus Spears are going to be fighting a 2v1 versus these zombies over here, and they can probably easily 2 versus 1 that group. And here we have the Rev Crystal and the big angry crabs, also the Sirens fighting in here, and they're actually doing really well. It looks like the Saurus Warriors right here, at least on this part of the battlefield, are just getting absolutely destroyed. They're shaken, they're getting run over. We definitely need to see some Wind Blast action going on here. So Curse of the Midnight Wind going down right here. This is really kind of the pocket of strength for Sotek. He does have these Saurus Warriors. It looks like Krokkar's also here. The Big Daddy Croc scores are going down rather quick. I mean, they have put a bit of a pounding on the Tide of Skjold, but I still don't think that's enough. And also, he's losing the Pterodon Rider. So it looks like Roz is doing pretty well so far in this game. He does also summon some Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs here in the back. And yeah, he's going to be kind of poking at these calves. So the Lizard Riders do get a nice little charge in there, but that is not ideal. They want to be fighting crabs and some of these other, you know, heavily armored large targets, right? In the meantime, Krokkar, it looks like he's going to be going after Big Daddy Noctils here. Curse of the Midnight Wind going down. Invocation of the Heck also going off. Krokkar definitely a superior duelist, I'm pretty sure. 57-44. Well, it's actually pretty damn close. However, Krokkar does have Hand of the Gods, which is going to be very strong. And Sotek does actually get that optimal engagement. So he pulls back the Cold One Spear Riders from this engagement right here versus infantry. He puts some skinks to kind of deal with them. And then he gets that really good and juicy charge with the Cold One Spear Riders against the Prometheans. But it's not looking too good because Sirens are here. There's some Halberds here. And it looks like Roz and the Vampire Coast are kind of just running over this part of the formation. The Saurus Spears here are still fighting, but these Saurus completely buckled off. Clever Girls are going to be getting a rear charge right here, and this is going to be a tough one for Sotek to pull back. Krokkar is kind of surrounded. Looks like he's going to be fighting the Tide of Skjold and some Depth Guard. I mean, yeah, he's not going to be in the best shape right here. I mean, had Krokkar been on Grimlock in this matchup, he would just be tearing things apart, but obviously Grimlock is typically a very risky pick against Vampire Coast. So the bounce power is slightly in the favor of the Vampire Coast here. You can see the Depth Guard just chewing through this front line, doing great work. As far as kills, they only have 22, I guess, but still, they've done quite a bit of damage. And the Siren pick also seems to be quite strong. It seems like they're doing a very good job against the Temple Guard and the Saurus, lowering their melee attack with their charmed ability and just kind of grinding their way through this fight. So the Crab people definitely doing some good work. Now, Sotek still does have a Rev Crystal here. He's got some Saurus Spears. He does also have some Skink Cohorts, and they are working through this particular formation. And he might be able to get back in the game with some good healing, right? So if he's able to kind of stabilize the pocket, maybe form a bit of a Helm's Deep and get some good rear charges, maybe he could pull back some Witchcraft here. Not sure. Temple Guard are still holding pretty strong. But again, they're just kind of surrounded. The Sirens are still at full health. There's Zombies Chaff. And even Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs with arms have really good armor piercing. So that's still going to put, you know, quite a bit of hurt on these Temple Guard over a very, very long grinding game, right? So Krokkar takes quite a bit of damage. He pops a Rev Crystal on himself from the big angry dinosaur over here. But the bounce power is just kind of slowly shifting out of Sotek's favor as the Vampire Coast is really just winning this grindy fight, right? Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs with polearms are doing good. I really like the Siren pick, actually. I mean, I wouldn't have picked them myself. I think in my matchup versus Dinos, I have one of them, but having 2 or 3 actually seems to be pretty damn strong right here. In the meantime, Count Noctis is letting loose some evil cackles as he just stands here and watches the forces of the Dinos be dragged down here. A very good Wind Blast right there from Sotek, though. He gets a nice Wind Blast, which pretty much chunks those Sirens to like half health, so very good value. They're pretty bunched up, so I like that quite a bit. Krokkar maybe going to be going for the Lord over here. Looks like he's going to be sprinting across. I'm sure he still has Hand of the Gods as well, which will be very useful. And yeah, it looks like the Crab people are probably going to take this one. A very powerful rush build, and you know, that's kind of the thing about in Total War, subverting expectations is very, very important, right? So from here, you're going to have Krokkar fighting a bit of a duel of fates versus Count Noctis, the Cube of Darkness being popped, which is going to be lowering the power recharge rate, which is definitely quite helpful. But I mean, Krokkar's doing a little bit of work, and oh man, that Stegodon coming in with the Ramrod and actually knocking back Count Noctis quite a bit and charging into these Depth Guard with polearms. I think, yeah, that's going to be tough. I don't know. The Dinos don't have too much left. If you look around, I mean, there's some Saurus, there's some really tattered forces everywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be army losses in a moment here. As you can see, the forces of the Dinos are being dragged down. So, sorry guys, a little bit of a stuffy nose here. Yeah. No, you're not too behind. This is just game 2. So for anyone joining, it's just, yeah, I know. Take a little break after this for a moment. But anyways, you can see Krokkar right here is going to be piling in, attacking Noctis, doing a little bit of damage in his final death throws here, but also the Skink Priest is getting dragged down. And once the Skink Priest takes a little bit of damage and, you know, the big angry dinos here start to take damage, he's probably going to get slapped with army losses. So Roz, with the upset in game 2, he's able to come in with Count Noctis in a very rush-heavy build, so just Prometheans, Depth Guard, and Crabs. And of course he did have zombies and chaff units, but I don't know if Sotek was expecting that type of a build. Maybe he was expecting a little bit more Powder or Jack Dropper play or Luther Harkin, but he's able to do some really good work. And Krokkar's putting up a great fight here. I mean, just proving how resilient he is. But nonetheless, Count Noctis should be able to kind of break him off here, and that's probably going to be army losses. So yeah, Gary came in with the Ramrod. He did. He tried. Gary or George. One of the names for sure. I know. That's going to be game 2 for Roz. So after, you know, the first game, which was pretty dominant for Sotek, Roz comes back with a very unique build, good micro, good control over his army, and was able to kind of rout the forces of the Red Host here. So let's go ahead and update this 1-to-1. Get the army blocker up, and we're going to jump back into the lobby. All right, so they're going to switch up. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get some water as well as something else, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, guys, and we're back. It is time for game 3. Oh, and it looks like we're gonna have a Dwarves versus Chaos matchup. Oh, this is a really fun one. I don't know. I think Chaos has a slight advantage, but even still, the Dwarves are very capable. If you use Runes of Wrath and Ruin to really take down the big targets, so honestly, probably the most effective build is to go a Rune Lord, a Runesmith, and then just use Master Rune on Chosen or Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and it's really, really cost effective. So yeah. This is the decider. Currently, it's 1-1 in the series. Loremaster of Sotek winning the first game as Vampire Counts versus the Empire, and then Roz was able to come back in game 2 with a very good, solid win using the Vampire Coast against the Dinos. So he was indeed able to get those Lizardman trinkets. Hey, Gok from Denmark. Glad you're enjoying the stream, man. We're back again. Yes, we are. Thank you guys so much for joining today. Dwarves vs. Chaos in this map. Yeah, it's a fun matchup. We're probably going to see Kolek is a very good pick. Kolek is incredibly powerful, but Warp Chicken is also a force of nature. So there's a lot of good choices. I mean, I personally think Warp Chicken is probably a little bit safer because he can't be focused down, but my personal playstyle, I love Kolek. Kolek just pound towns any armor, like no joke. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. Of course, myself, I'm a big Dwarf fan, but Chaos is probably my second favorite faction. So. But if I were to play in a tournament, my best faction right now is actually Vampire Coast. I love playing Vampire Coast. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. We are here in the first best of 3 of the day. And let's go ahead and show. I know we've had a lot of new people joining since we began. So here are the brackets for today. It's going to be Loremaster of Sotek versus Roz in the first best of 3, which we're about to conclude. And then Zardar Total War versus Yankee Moshpit in the second best of 3. And they'll be facing off in the finals, the winner of these 2 best of 3s. And the winner of the overall event will be getting a piece of 8 to join the other champions: Ritus, Flying Taco, Falcon, Exploding Hamster, Pippington, Rigson. Definitely quite a competitive card there. Be playing in the grand finals. Oh yes. I don't think Zotek will pick Sigvald. I think he's going to try and win this one. And Sigvald isn't really a good choice. He doesn't have the best armor piercing value, so he's going to be a little bit limp noodle against Dwarf Lords. Yeah. What are the tough factions for vampires to play against? I think High Elves are really hard. High Elves are definitely pretty tough. You know what? Actually, believe it or not, I actually have some trouble with Beastmen. Like, good Beastmen players can be pretty scary for sure. Yeah, I think Elvish factions are typically very hard. Dwarves are actually very good against Vampire Coast. Their infantry smash the Vampire Coast infantry, and then their guns are really good at out-trading the Vampire Coast guns, and they can take down the monsters very easily. So, there's some give and take there. Yes. Argrovia says, I'd say it's 55-45 for Chaos. They match Dwarven infantry, have Powerhouse Monster and Chariots, and yeah, that's a very, very good assessment, Argrovius. I agree. I think it's a slight advantage for Chaos. But I don't know. We're on the, I don't think we're on the Pillar of Bone. Let me make sure that they switch maps. I'm going to double check the map real quick to make sure that we're moving forward in the right direction. Scroll up here. Yes, good, Anakin, good. Essence of Chaos. Okay, I have to make sure. Okay, cool. I just let him know. We're on the Essence of Chaos for our last map. Yeah, I think Runes of Wrath and Ruin are very important here. Very good Slayer play. Dragonpack Slayers are pretty much a must to catch Chariots and the other tools when they're kind of creeping in like that. So yeah. I don't play Steel Faith. I prefer the vanilla experience. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just kind of like to... I prefer to... If I'm going to be involved in the multiplayer scene is contingent on the vanilla standard game, right? It's not going to be mod specific. So I don't like to invest my time and resources in learning something that isn't like involved in the contemporary metagame. That's my main thing. I think it's pretty fun if you're looking for a different experience, but personally I like the vanilla experience. So this is the first best of 3 of the day. Currently it's 1-1. Sotek took the first game as the Vampire Counts, and Roz took the second one as the Coast. So yeah, we're on the Essence of Chaos, which is a pretty funny looking map. It's pretty damn small actually, so I don't know. Hopefully the dwarves know they can't corner camp. The Ever Chicken's melee stats are pretty weak, but he's a really good disruption tool. He could just run amok amongst Thunders, Slayers. I mean, he's very tough to pin down. So really, the Warp Chicken is going to be debuffing with his metal spells or Final Chance Mutation on Dwarf Lords, and then from there, he's going to be, opening up your other avenues of attack. That's why Warp Chicken is so good. And he has like 60% missile resist, which is insane. Yeah. Which legendary lord would you like to see? I don't know the lore very well for the dinos. I mean, Lore Master of Sotek could probably answer that. Oh, Ultimate Chaos mod is fun, yeah. I used to play that and do like custom battles on that. Yeah, with some of the guys. Ironbreakers versus Chaos. I don't know. They might be okay. Like Norgamling's Ironbreakers might be good. Magic D, thank you so much for the donation. I don't know how much that is. I think it's... Is that... What currency was that again? I remember having that happen last time. And I was like, oh my god, someone donated for like 10 grand or something. But thank you so much. I think it's actually like 10, 15 bucks. So man, really appreciate it. That's a very generous donation. Magic D. Thank you, man. You forgot to change it to dollars. I think that's 40,000. Is it Colombian peso, which I think is like $15? Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Magic, you don't need to do it. YouTube will translate it for you, so don't stress it. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the support. Glad to hear you're enjoying the stream. Giving people a heart attack. Oh, man. I think the biggest... Yeah. That's solid. So, yeah, I'll let the guys know to start when ready. Start when ready. They've had ample time to pick. My wave of allergies is passing. I wanted to play 40... Hey, Christopher Bruns. Let's see. Thank you, Christopher, so much for the donation here on YouTube. Said sent a donation a few minutes ago. I think I forgot to re-enable the notifications because I usually turn them off in the games. But I do see it on PayPal, Christopher. So thank you so much. Christopher just dropped a fat, angry donation of... let me go ahead and read it out. 15 bucks. So thank you, Christopher. Really appreciate it, man. Well played, well played. Well played indeed. Yeah, guys, so who do you have here for this game? Game 3, you guys are pulling for the Lore Master of Sotek, or are you guys pulling for Roz and the Dawi? All hail the Wookiee. I know. The Vampire Coast, like, intro song is so good. I feel like that's going to be timeless. Like, if you try and think back about, like, the song they used for the Beastmen or the Wood Elves, like, there's not going to be one. Like, you're just going to be like, what? I don't remember that. But this one is going to be, like, something that you'll always remember. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Why though? Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, I'm pretty sure do fire damage, and they also have a bonus for infantry. And then they have another buff or something about fire. I can't remember if it's like resistance or something. I think it is. Oh man, I would love to play Dave from Any Wargaming, but the problem is like they're in like I think they're in Canada, like the northeast part of Canada or the eastern part of Canada. I mean, if they were closer, I would like travel out there and play, but. I got my Death Guard army almost fully painted thanks to my lovely wife who's been helping me quite a bit. Because I got about like 60% of the army painted, 60-70%, and it looks pretty good. But then my hand started hurting really bad when I was painting, and I could either paint or I could do YouTube. It's like, it would hurt so bad after I painted for like 2 hours that I had to kind of stop. So Lady Turn's been picking up the slack and helping me finish the army, and she's a better painter than I am. So it's looking really good. The only thing left to paint are 4 Blightlord Terminators and about like half of Mortarion. I almost finished Mortarion. Anna did the wings, I did the body and the face and everything. It's looking really good. But yeah, I'm gonna have 40k battles on the channel whenever Italian Spartacus is ready. So we're just kind of waiting for him to have time to play. All right, guys, here we are in Game 3, which is going to feature a showdown between the Warriors of Chaos, who are going to be led by the Warp Chicken. We have Sartorial, the Herald of Tzeentch, and they're going to be facing off against the forces of the Dawe. The Dawe are going to be led by Ungrim Iron Fist. Very heavy metal, very controversial, and it looks like we do have 2 Runesmiths here as well, which is going to be great. My Death Guard army is 2,000 points, but in total I probably have about 3,500 points. Yeah. I have like close to 4,000 points of Death Guard. Well, no, probably like 3,500. Yeah, give or take. All right, so this is a Spirit Essence of Chaos. It's not a map you see terribly often, but it's a very fast, aggressive map, which is why I like it. It's just like line up and go fisticuffs. Just settle our differences. So for the armies of Chaos, it looks like we do have a combination of Chaos Marauders in the front line, Chaos Warriors, and also a couple groups of Chosen. So Chosen are definitely going to be very meaty. The Dwarves have to use their Runes of Wrath and Ruin on the Chosen. It's going to be one of the most effective ways to wear them down because Chosen just give the business to Dwarf Infantry. I mean, they are so damn powerful. 49, 48, and 50 weapon strength with the charge bonus of 32 and 120 armor, almost unbreakable leadership. Chosen are insane infantry, some of the best in the game. On top of that, in the back, we have the Gorby's Chariot. It looks like some Poison Warhounds, which are going to be quite good at flanking and pressuring, and a Hell Cannon. So if the Dwarves don't have any, artillery of their own, the Hell Cannon can be pretty damn good. Granted, the Gyrocopters can fly over and do some work here. Sotek, though, isn't completely unprotected. He does have Marauder Horsemasters with throwing axes or horsemen, and they're also very good against Gyrocopters. So very good answers from both players. One group of Chaos Knights here, and on the far side, it looks like, do we have any other Chaos Knights? No, just one group of Chaos Knights. So plenty of mobile pressure. We got some Hounds, we got Chaos Knights, and Hell Cannon and Chariot. So yeah, very diverse force for Sotek. And for the forces of the Dawi, we do have a very proud force of miners with blasting charges here in the front line. And yeah, they're going to do pretty good. I mean, they'll blasting charge, they have some armor piercing, they can take the beating. Granted, they're going to get annihilated once they do get into the fight, but they're just there to take the beating and then allow you to use Runes of Wrath and Ruin and kind of layer that damage on, right? Double Runesmith is going to be pretty good. Ungrim, of course, always happy to slay some giant chickens. On top of that, we do have Dwarf Warriors with great weapons on both sides, Longbeards with great weapons, Grumbling Guard, Longbeards, and the Dragonback Slayer. So honestly, I think Roz has a really good army. Like, it's definitely up to snuff. It's really going to come down to the Rune of Wrath and Ruin play. And yeah, kind of his target priority using his Grumbling Guard and some of his other heavy infantry. Also, the bombs are going to be useful. And yeah, quite eager to see how this goes. This is going to be fun. Birdman is the real Sirtha Ek versus the Dawi, at least. Yeah, Birdman is so good. He's so good. Oh, man. Yeah, the Brimstones are going to be good against the Chariot. I mean, it's like, in terms of like, if you just take, whenever you look at a unit, you can kind of look at its damage output and see if it's like cost effective compared to other damage output units. And yes, the Gyrocopters with Brimstone guns might not have the most cost effective damage output, but again, they also give Dwarves mobility. They have the option of pressuring this Hell Cannon, whereas otherwise you just have to sit and let it shoot the entire time. Now he can at least put some pressure on it, and also gives him perpetual, uninterruptible missile damage against his Gorby's Chariot. So there is some give and take there. It's not fair to just say it's like has poor damage output. It has other variables which make it useful, in my opinion. Yes. I'll have this world, kid. All right, start when ready. All hail the mighty. Do some wrist stretches while we're waiting here. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I love the dwarves. I was actually at Barnes & Noble's with Lady Turin a couple days ago, and I was reading the Grudge Bearer book that's about like Snorri Whitebeard and Grombrindle, and I was like, God damn, that book is epic. It's so good. I wish I had gotten into Warhammer literature when I was younger. I mean, I was reading Lord of the Rings and, the Forgotten Realms of R.A. Salvatore, the Dritz series, and, all that stuff. But, man, Warhammer has some great stuff, for sure. As far as the spells go, on the Warp Chicken, he does have the Transmutation, Plague of Rust, which are useful. Plague of Rust would probably be really good for the Mirror Guard, wherever they're fighting. So the Forces of Chaos are going to be advancing, but the Dwarves are also going to be advancing. They're not waiting in their halls. They're going out to conquer. Ungrim Iron Fist. And does he have his Red Rune? He does. The first Hell Cannon shot coming in definitely should be targeting the Grumbling Guard, which is going to be a great target. And it is a bit of a swing and a miss. So this is a very close quarters map. So the Hell Cannon doesn't have the most time to kind of bombard the Dwarves. But I think Roz and the Dawi knew that, right? They knew it was a kind of a small map here that he could, get in close with. The Marauder Horsemen are going to be intercepting the Gyrocopters, definitely going to be good at pressuring those guys. Cherry is going to be falling back from the Brimstone gun, but yeah, the throwing axe pressure definitely going to hurt pretty bad against those Gyros, and he's going to want to pull back, because that's really going to chew him up pretty quick. Now, Hound's charging in for a second, but it looks like Loremaster of Sotek does pull back, so that might have been a bit of a mistake. And these Chaos Knights on the flanks, definitely going to hurt quite a bit. And those blasting charges, oh man, so many of them getting caught up in the trees here. Rune of Wrath and Ruin is going to be going down on Chaos Warriors. Definitely is going to want to hit the Chosen. Blasting charge is going down as well. And Hell Cannon's still shooting. Now, it hasn't made the best contact. I guess it did get one pretty square hit right there. Sotek, pull back the dogs. The dogs are about to get slapped at pretty bad by the Runesmith. Rune of Negation going down as well. But yeah, these dogs are just going to be piling in to attack this Runesmith. They definitely should fall back here. The Chaos Warriors, it looks like they're going to be falling back a little bit as well. They definitely don't want to let these Dwarf Warriors get the charge. They definitely should get in there. And these Marauder Horsemen are doing, you know, pretty much the Lord's work, just kind of hunting down these Gyrocopters with the Brimstone guns. Hell Cannon is still shooting pretty happily, and it looks like Chosen are now going to be piling in, and oh man, looks like Ungrim was fighting those Chosen alone, and he took so much damage, so Ungrim has to fall back. Gorby's Chariots in the back, getting in there into some of those Miners and some of those Grumbling Guard. And the Chaos Knights are also swooping around the back as well. So Chaos Knights are just going to break these Miners so damn quick. And the Chariots are still kind of running around. The Chosen are taking a little bit of damage from the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, but they are, of course, going to beat down these Longbeards. Plague of Rust also being popped as well. And it looks like the Chaos Knights, I don't know if they actually were charging those Miners. Maybe they were charging these Grumbling Guard, but Ungrim took a massive beating right there. Anyway, Sartorial the Ever Chicken is going to be dropping a Transmutation of Lead right here, I would imagine. Chaos Warriors and the Marauders are able to chew up those Dwarf Warriors pretty effectively with the help of the Drumstick Lord. But the Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes are slowly being focused down by the Gyrocopters. You can see the two of them are actually focus firing these Marauder Horsemen. They're just picking them apart. In the meantime, Doggos are going to be re-engaging on the Slayers, which isn't a bad choice. They're not large, so the Slayers don't get their bonus versus large, and that kind of frees up the Chariots. So Sotek is able to free up the Chariots, and it looks like they might be swooping up and around or just going straight through the pipe here. So here comes the Chariots in the front line, going to be running through some of these Dwarf Infantry that are fighting the Chosen, and the Chaos Knights in the back are also able to chew up those Miners. So it's looking like Chaos is in a pretty dominant position here. We do have the Warp Chicken in a clash of fates versus Ungrim Iron Fist, who has popped the Red Ruin. He definitely needs to make sure he's hitting all of his attacks into the Warp Chicken, but, you know, the KFC King is not going to be one to just sit and take a beating, right? He's going to go and pour that gravy somewhere else. So, Ungrim Iron Fist with the Red Rune kind of sitting with his hands in his pants right here. Probably just going to be fighting Chaos Marauders for quite some time. Gyrocopters, however, could finish off this Hell Cannon, which might get them back in the game a little bit, but now they're going to be sitting and taking pot shots at these Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights with a huge charge right into the back of that Dawi formation. Just doing huge damage against those Dwarf Warriors and also really helping out those beleaguered Chaos Warriors. And yeah, that's tough, but the Gyrocopters with the Brimstone guns are really doing quite good. I mean, these ones, they both still have full firing power. 3 models. They're shooting in there, but it looks like Chaos is doing pretty well on multiple fronts as well. I mean, the infantry fight really in their favor. Ungrim able to catch the KFC King there for a moment and get a little bit of damage, but nonetheless, it's going to be tough. And the KFC Lord is also going to be popping some debuffs, I think. But man, he should definitely send a Gyrocopter back here. Just get one of these Gyrocopters in melee and attack the Hell Cannon crew. You could actually knock them off and probably kill them. But alas, it looks like the Hell Cannon's going to keep shooting. It does have 56 kills. And here comes the Hell Cannon blast across, just going downtown against these Longbeards and right into the back. And it does barely clip the formation. Not able to do a whole lot, but Rune of Wrath and Ruin also going down in the Mirror Guard, who are, you know, just kind of spanking up these Miners. They have 36 kills, which isn't bad. So, balance of power pretty heavily in the favor of Chaos right now. The Chaos Knights are going to be falling back. 27 models just kind of chasing down the scraps of the Dwarves. And it looks like it's pretty much just Dawi leadership as well as the Gyrocopters. A well-fought fight here by Ross. He put up a great fight, but I think that the KFC King is just too strong. And there's too many Chaos Infantry left. There's still 38 Chosen here, and these guys just marching through the swamps. Just their inexorable pressing pressure here. They're going to be able to chop up most of the Dwarf leadership and the Dwarf Lords. Granted, there still are Gyro Bombs left. But aside from that, I don't know if the Dawi have a whole lot. They have a couple Runesmiths who are just being chewed down by infantry. And that's going to be a 2-1 victory for Loremaster of Sotek, it looks like. Yeah. Absolutely. The Gyrocopters, they didn't do bad. They really didn't do bad. But I just think that the Miners weren't able to really do enough. I mean, the Miners just got pounded, like in every front. Here you have Ungrim, of course, fighting to the bitter end. If he is a Slayer, so he's going to be fulfilling his oath against the Greater Demon of Zeech. Not bad. Certainly a formidable foe. Welcome, guys. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. And that's going to be it. So, Loremaster of Sotek is going to be moving on to the finals. Very well played to Roz. And yeah, he put up a great fight. And it was a cool Dawi build. Like, it was I like the Gyrocopters and just the infantry focus, but it wasn't enough. I mean, having Ungrim and Double Runesmith is a decent leadership kit. Ungrim is very cheap and powerful, but I just don't think the Miners were up to snuff. I mean, I do kind of like the pick because of the blasting charges and the layering of pressure, but it seems like they just got trounced and the Longbeards just got pounded by Warp Chicken and Chariots, and yeah, it was a little bit tough. So maybe a couple powder units could have been useful, like Thunders, and maybe like, yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't say a cannon because Warp Chicken, the cannonballs literally do nothing to him. But yeah, the blasting charges looked really cool though. They looked really cool. So very well played to Roz and Lore Master of Sotek here. Sotek is going to be moving on to the finals. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard. And we're going to do that for now. And great. So yeah, well played to these guys. Let me go ahead and chat with them. See you in finals, Sotek. All right, guys. Inexorable. I know that from 40K. Yes. That's going to be it. So Lore Master of Sotek moving on to the finals. Well played to Roz. Big thanks for joining today. You did a great job. Lore Master of Sotek is a very good player and, of course, has played in many tournaments. So awesome fight there and some close games. So, guys, thank you so much for joining so far. We're just basically just getting started. We're an hour in, and we already had a best of 3 that went to game 3. So here we're going to take a quick intermission while I set up the next game. And in the meantime, you guys can listen to some classical music. So thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you in just a minute. And we're back, just like that. And here we're going to have a best of 3 showdown between Yankee Mosh Pit and Zardar Total War. So firstly, we have to go ahead and update the scorecards here. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and do that. And we got to change the names real quick. I still got to find a way to do it like in between, but it's like whatever screen I select to have up. I think there's like a studio mode, but anyways, that's enough rambling. So we're just going to put Zardar for short here, just because it fits a little bit better. And here we're going to have Yankee. All right, showtime. So it looks like in this match, we're going to have a showdown between Yankee Mosh Pit and Zardar. Yankee, of course, is going to be playing the High Elves, and Zardar Total War is going to be playing the Greenskins. And for any of you guys who haven't seen Zardar Total War's channel, I believe he is from Greece, and he has campaigns. So he does like legendary campaigns, is a very, very skilled campaign player. So if you guys are looking for that, he also does mix in multiplayer content, but I know the main focal point of his channel, I believe, is a campaign. So yeah, make sure to check him out. He's a very solid dude, very nice nice guy, and also a very, very good player. So yeah, let's go ahead and start him when ready. Start when ready. And we'll make sure to drop a link to Zardar's channel during the stream as well as afterwards. So the Hyle player has selected in his army. It's looking pretty good. I'm digging it. This is a cool army. It looks like Yankee Mosh Pit has a solid force. We're going to see if Zardar Total War is up to the task. And the winner of this best of 3 will be moving on to the grand finals to face the illustrious Lore Master of Sotek for one of our pieces of 8. So Sotek, of course, coming for one of those lizard trinkets, as you said. And also, while I was gone, I believe I missed a couple donations. So big thanks to the Nico Muller. Are you going to be playing Blood Bowl? Yeah, I think I'm going to be playing one with Black Iron in the next week or 2. And Espen Broderson, thanks for hosting these games. It's really good. Well, thank you guys so much for your generous donations. It means a lot, my friends. And yeah, we're going to be doing these at least once a week. I stream at least once a week. And if I'm ever able to figure out my hand problems, I'll be streaming way, way more often. So yeah, so that's kind of the 5-0 on that. Just trying to get this like chair comfy here. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little bit better here. Like a stool now. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of the screen blocker here. Wookie, we will see you in the next match. And here we are onto the game 1. To game 1, which is going to be on the Altar of Outskirts. And this is definitely a pretty good map. It's a fun one. You guys were almost in for a treat today. I actually was getting ready to stream today, and I was like shaving my... I had a really terrible neck beard. I had like the worst beard going on. And boss music plays at the mention of Sotek in the finals. Yes. And I had a mustache. I had like a fat mustache this morning, and I was so close to keeping it for the stream, but I just like couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I was like, oh, it's so horrible. I just can't. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, guys, here we are. High Elves versus Orcs. High Elves typically win this with heavy cav, using a lot of like, you know, just Dragon Princes and Reavers and just kind of like that cycle charging. Greenskin heavy cav can't really hold up that well. I mean, they can use Spider Riders and FG of the Git and Smoke Bombs to kind of pin them in place, which I think is really the staple of doing well in this matchup. Yeah. I haven't played the new beta yet. Yeah. I haven't tried the beta. Yes, Misha, some solid greenskins peak there. No, the neckbeard's gone, dude. It's gone. The stash was horrible. Maybe for the grand finals I'll have a mustache. I don't know. It looks really bad, guys. I grow a terrible facial hair. Like, I don't look good. I'm not one of those people who's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I look sick with a beard. No, I look like shit. I look like it's patchy. It's terrible. Maybe in a couple more years. I thought when I was 30 it would happen, but I'm 30 now. And I was like, oh, well, maybe when I'm like 35, I'll be able to grow a decent beard. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. So here we are in the second best of 3 of today's qualifier, which is going to be a showdown between Yankee Mosh Pit and Zardar Total War. So for the forces of the High Elves, they're going to be led by the greatest Chad of them all, Tyrion. Now, Tyrion is very scary. He can hunt down Greenskin Lords. Sunfang is great against Biggins and Goblins and Orcs, and just is a very, very powerful spell at roasting big hordes of, you know, blobby infantry. Bait and Riposte quite good, and yeah, he's got the Heart of Averlorn, so pretty good stuff. Tyrion is ready. We have Dragon Princes here on the far side, and in Vanguard, it looks like we do have some Reavers. For the main force, it looks like Yankee Mosh Pit does have a combination of Swordmasters of Hoeth on the outsides of the formation and Spearmen, which I like. What he's probably going to be doing is trying to collapse the edges of the formation with the Spearmen, not Spearmen, the Swordmasters, and then collapse inward, right, while the Spearmen just kind of hold the center. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can pull that off. One group of Phoenix Guard here in the back, so the elite of the High Elves, it looks like he does have a Lightcaster, so you probably saw me getting owned in a replay a couple weeks ago where my opponent actually used the Swordmasters, and then he used the Barona's Time Warp to give them the melee attack, and they just killed the Black Orcs so fast. That could be very strong. 2 groups of the Lothran Sea Guard, which are quite good, because if the Greenskins come in with Skirmish Cav, you don't really have to defend them. They have a bonus for large, they're very durable, so I like this quite a bit, which is going to be fun. Yes. Yes, yes. I know, I get a horrible beard. I wish I could get a good one, McCam. I hear you on that. So that's it for the forces of the High Elves. It looks like it's going to be Lore of Light, Tyrion, and a little bit of Buzzsaw action with the Swordmasters of Hoeth, who've actually been moved in, so the formation's a little bit more well-balanced now, which I like. And for the forces of the Green Tide, it looks like we're going to have heavy metal in the front line. Black Orcs for days, which I love. Black Orcs with Waaagh, especially with Wurzog buffing them, are pretty insane. Bonewood Staff is an item that Wurzog has that makes it so whenever you cast a spell, your entire army gets melee attack and a charge bonus, which is pretty ludicrous, right? So the Black Orcs ready to party. We do also have the Rusty Arrows here. 2 groups of Nasty Skulkers in the back with Smoke Bomb, which is a great answer against Reavers and Dragon Princes. 2 groups of Forest Goblin Spider Riders. The Arachnaut Queen, which is also a very solid pick. He could simply summon spiders on top of the Lothran Sea Guard to shut them down. And Zardar's army is looking pretty tanky and beastly, so I'm really excited to see this one in action. Go when ready. All right, here we go, guys. It's time. Yeah, make sure to drop a like if you guys are enjoying the stream. It does help out quite a bit. And also big thanks to Machine the J. Damn you, Turin, you make me choose between stream and the Pat Steelers game. Why not both, my friend? Appreciate your work. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, man. Hopefully you enjoy, I don't know who you're pulling for there, but I used to be a big fan of the NFL back in the day as well. Actually, I promised you guys I was going to upload my high school football video. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Anyways, the Greenskins are going to be advancing here. Looks like the High Elves are doing a little bit of flank pressure with the Reavers, just kind of lurking in the back. If he's really patient with those Reavers and waits for the Greenskins to commit everything, he could probably get some pretty good freebies here on the Forest Goblin Archers, or just Night Goblin Archers. Goblins, close enough. So yeah, here come the Greenskins with the Wa, of course, is going to be ready to go. The Swordmasters and Dragon Princes are kind of aligning their charges. And it looks like he's going to be kind of moving this way to kind of get his back to the forest a little bit, just to maybe scout for Greenskins, harass and skirmish, and maybe Vanguard that could be coming out of the forest here. He does also have the Lothar and Seaguard. They have 165 range against the 115 of the Goblin Archers. They're definitely quite superior in terms of their ranged prowess. Granted, the rest of the arrows do have really good armor sundering, so they could focus down the Swordmasters here in the middle. Hard to say. So it looks like the Dragon Princes are going to be coming. Now, Warzog does have Effigy of the Git. Effigy of the Git could potentially just pin these Dragon Princes in place, which would allow these Skulkers and Spider Riders to kind of swarm them. And it looks like that's what Zardar is going to be going for, but it looks like Yankee Moshpit knows he's going to be pulling back, and massive focus fire coming in on the Black Orcs. So the Swordmasters are going to be engaging here. Looks like everyone's just going to be piling forward. Now, Greenskins do have some Goblin Wolf Riders and Deep Vanguard that I actually missed. So the Goblin Wolf Riders could definitely do some work. And the Black Orcs are colliding in the front line. The Spearmen take the initial charge. And then the Swordmasters are going to kind of wade in and start fighting as well. So this is going to be a pretty messy affair here in the front line. Definitely going to be a victory for the High Elves in this particular battle. Now, the Arachnoid Queen going in. Swordmasters are really just pounding these Black Orcs on every front. The Wa hasn't been popped yet. I would definitely like to see that. It looks like the Barona's Time Warp has been popped as well, Fast Protection. But here comes the Wa. So the Greenskin's going to get a massive buff. FG of the Gate going down on the Dragon Princes, and it looks like Skulkers and Goblins and all kinds of other forest creatures of the night are going to be attacking these Dragon Princes here. And the Dragon Princes are taking quite a bit of damage from those Prison Shanks. FG of the Gate also does magic damage, and the Wa is making those nasty Skulkers and the Goblin Big Boss so incredibly powerful. So Bounce Bar is pretty even, but a massive Goblin Wolf Rider Vanguard in the back is able to come in here and smash into these Reaver Archers. Now the Reaver Archers, or the Lothar and Seaguard, will win in melee. They're going to be able to cut these Goblin to pieces, but the Goblins at least temporarily disrupt them, and a massive erect Foot of Gork coming down right here and crushing those Spearmen, just heavy metal. The Black Orcs are able to just crush them and run through. Nasty Skulkers are pouring in. Looks like the Dragon Princes from Yankee Moshpit are able to fall back and intercept the Goblins, but nonetheless, the green side does pour forward. However, in the middle, it is a bit of a different story. The Phoenix Guard are holding quite firm. The Black Orcs are tattered. The Arachnoid Queen taking quite a bit of damage. And it looks like in the back, do we have Tyrion? No, it looks like the Light Wizard. Somehow the Light Wizard got back here. Wurzog on the Baconator is going to be absolutely doing a ton of damage with the Goblin Big Boss. There is no way that she's going to be getting away. So very, very catastrophic mistake there for the High Elves, letting their caster get in the back there. I'm not sure how that happened. Tyrion, however, is still doing a pretty good job fighting Black Orcs. He has really good armor piercing now, so definitely his element. Lothar and Seaguard are just putting perpetual pressure here on the Arachnoid Queen. And the Dragon Princes, yeah, I mean, there's not really too many good fights for them. It looks like the green side is just kind of pouring forward. Just orcs, orcs, orcs everywhere. You can see that these Black Orcs are just moving in. The Goblin firing line is healthy. They're back online. They're going to start shooting at the Dragon Princes. The Queen is somewhat healthy as well. I mean, yeah, Tyrion can probably chase it, but Wurzog and his Goblin Big Boss probably going to be able to kind of hold this guy back. But the balance of power is still, like, not out of range for the High Elves yet. If he's able to get some really good holding with the Phoenix Guard, and does he have some Swordmasters left? He does. So he does have 58 models down here. There is a chance that maybe if he was able to get a really good Tyrion engagement on Wurzog or the Goblin Big Boss, that he could pull it back. But, oh man, what a tough fight. So the Phoenix Guard holding to the bitter end, but now the problem is the Greenskins are going to stay strong. Vista of Gork, Bonewood Staff, they have that perpetual grinding. Whereas these Phoenix Guard, their martial prowess is gone, so the High Elves are getting weaker while the Greenskins are getting stronger. In the back, the Dragon Prince is trying to take it to the Arachnoid Queen, but the Queen is so heavily armored, and these are not the Fireborn. The Queen has 150 armor. Dragon Princes have fairly poor AP, but this is something that could get the High Elves back in the game. If Tyrion is able to spank Wurzog and do a little bit of work, maybe, but Zardar Chota War is able to fall back. His Hog is running, the Goblin Big Boss is running, the Arachnoid Queen is on the hunt as well. And we're going to see if Tyrion, oh man, Tyrion is just kind of pushing through, but the Goblin, Forest Goblin Spider Riders are kind of pinning him down, poisoning him. Phoenix Guard are desperately trying to pile through to get there, but the High Elves still do have a pocket of strength here. They have Swordmasters, these nasty Skulkers and Black Orcs are pretty much done for, but still, there's 50 Black Orcs here, we have 27 here, the Arachnoid Queen probably has more summons, the Night Goblins are online, Rusty Arrows are still somehow alive, and yeah, it's going to be really tough. So the Green Tide is able to summon a bunch of these spiders here using the Arachnoid Queen, Effigy of the Git going down, and it looks like the Fist of Gork going down as well, or Ere We Go, which is going to be buffing those guys up. And yeah, I don't know if Tyrion's going to have enough stopping power. Arachnoid Queen is going to be piling into this last pocket of strength here for the High Elves. And yeah, I think that this Arachnoid Queen is just going to give them the dirty business. You can see they're having some problems for sure. In the meantime, over here, we do have these Lothar and Seaguard that are kind of poking in here. Some High Elf Spearmen are going to be rallying, but the Greenskins just have so much. The Orcs are just so aggressive. Black Orcs here with Ere We Go are going to be charging in, getting a fat, just meaty charge into these guys. And, you know, the greenskins, like I said, are going to be staying relatively strong the whole game, whereas the martial prowess of the high elves after the initial conflict and these very long battles isn't going to play into, you know, account as much. So from there, it looks like the high elves are going to be routed right here. Those Swordmasters of Hoth are running. These other ones are wavering. Tyrion is trying his best. I mean, he's an absolute beast, but he's just being headed off by Warzog. The Ragnarok Queen is just putting the moves on him as the Queen is able to shatter the last of those Dragon Princes who are going to be running to the hills. So that's going to be game one for Zardar Total War. A very good game. Both players played quite well, but alas, the aggressive nature of the greenskins, having that spider as kind of this just big beast that he didn't really have too many answers to, right? Like he had spears and Phoenix Guard, but he needed some range pressure for that. I mean, yeah, and the backline pressure from Zardar was great with the Wolf Riders. Black Orcs did good. Really good effigies of the Get with a beautiful Foot of Gork, which collapsed an entire formation. So it was just very, very solid play there. So very well played to Zardar Total War there, which was awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and update that. The Pride of Greece here, going up 1-0. And here we are in game two, so let's go ahead and get Wookiee while they pick their armies. And GG to both players. That was a really fun game. Game two. Make sure to switch map. Oh, yes. Wow. Yeah, that was great. That was a great one. Meat is back on the menu, boys. It was still a close game. The Black Orcs were all really beat up. Like, everyone is very, very tattered. And here it looks like we're going to have a showdown between the Beastmen and the Warriors of Chaos. So that's time for Big Daddy Kolek for sure. I mean, that's just my prediction without looking. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kolek. Chad Tyrion by Neckbeard Warzog. Oh, man. Yeah, Misha, I agree. That would be really fun. Wookiee is on point. He's looking majestic. Yep, he's looking good. You got to pull for the greenskins, though. Everyone loves the greenskins. Greenskins are such a fan favorite, you know? Yeah, they're good old boys, for sure. Discord links will be getting dropped. I know Misha's dropped it a couple times, but we'll make sure to drop one again here in a moment. Chaos, yeah, it's a chaos bowl. You know, we have the Warriors of Chaos versus the Beastmen. Definitely quite a bit of fun. I'll press the like. Blood for the blood god. Yeah. As far as this matchup goes, I think it's a slight advantage for the Warriors of Chaos, but I still think Beastmen have a lot of good tools. Centaurs with throwing axes are insane. You can use Centaurs with great weapons with cycle charging. But throwing axes is really the name of the game. So you can use like Cygors even, like play with Cygor play. So get like Malagor, summon a couple Cygors around the battlefield. Bomb their elite infantry with boulders, and when they have to split up to go after the different Cygors, you pick them apart with your Centaurs. I mean, the Beastmen have some really good answers, for sure. It's very, very doable, but I think that Chaos might have a slight advantage, just in my very anecdotal experience. Hey, Afir too. I got you, man. You're very welcome. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Isn't that kind of a weird phenomenon? Like, when I watch, like, certain streams, it just puts me to sleep. Like, there are certain ones that I watch, like, I'll watch, like, 40K battle reports, for example, like, before I go to bed, and, like 30 minutes into that battle report, I will be, like, laying on my pillow drooling, you know? Like 30 minutes in. It's weird how that works, isn't it? Anti-Mage, thank you so much for the $20, my friend. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. For the lady, well, maybe we'll see some Bretonnia today. I'm not sure, but... yeah. As far as Warhammer fantasy books goes, I haven't gotten into those yet, but I'm going to be buying the Grudgebearer book and reading the Dwarf series. But as far as 40K, I've read the Thousand Suns, I've read Horus Rising, I've read the Dark Imperium and Plague Wars. But I'm moving through those ones. I'm going to be going to Lords of Silence next because I'm a Death Guard player in 40K, so I want to learn their lore. Yeah, Chaos Missile Cav is really good in this matchup for sure. Horse Masters are actually quite strong. Thousand Suns was a really good book. Oh my god. The final battle. Oh, so epic. Yeah, make sure you guys do drop a like. It does help quite a bit. I hate asking for them. I don't know. It's kind of a cringy thing to me, but if you guys don't mind, it does help from a business perspective. All right. Here we go. It's showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And let's go ahead and get rid of this. Wookiee. Farewell, my sweet Prince Wookiee. We will see you on the other side. So if Zardar is able to win this game, he's going to win 2-0, and he will be moving on to the finals to face the Lore Master of Sotek, which would definitely be quite a fun showdown there. Matthew, deploying in Poland in 2019. Any good recommendations for me? Matthew, if you are in Discord, shoot me a message. Lady Turin and I will, she's actually not here right now, but we'll sit down and we'll give you recommendations for Poland. Are you going to be in Warsaw? Are you going to be in Katowice? What part of Poland are you going to be in? Krakow? Yeah, let me know. Oh, the Death Corps of Krieg is awesome. Oh yeah, they're great. I hate playing against Imperial Guard armies. Oh god, it's horrible when they have like 8 Lehman Russes and just sit in the corner. Like if you think corner camping in Total War is annoying, try like going to like play a 40k game that takes like 3 or 4 hours and just facing an Imperial Guard army that just has like a mass horde of tanks in the corner of the map, and you're like a slow army like Death Guard. It's like, oh god, oh, kill me, kill me. Yeah. Anyways, though, but Imperial Guard are pretty badass for sure. I like them way more than Space Marines. All right, so here we are. Wookiee, we took care of that. Okay, I just had to double check because I'm a little bit paranoid about that. And for the forces of Zardar Total War, it looks like we're going to have Morker the Shadow Gave over here. So he's got his Pimp Claw. He's ready to go. And he's a good choice. He's sustainable. Chaos Spawn are just useful bodies. In the Beastmen, Chaos Spawn, unlike the Chaos Spawn, actually do poison damage, which makes them very useful. We got Shadow Magic as well, so Melkos as well. Pendulum is quite good here. And yeah, he has Pendulum and Enfeebling Foe. For the front line, he's got 4 Bestigor Herds, so going very heavy beast. Bestigor Herds are going to do pretty well. They'll beat Chaos Warriors. They will lose to Chosen. But nonetheless, if you get your charges with Bestigor Herds, they do a ton of work. On top of that, Centaurs with Throwing Axes in the back. 2 groups of Warhounds. On top of that, Minotaurs with great weapons. So Zardar just going straight up heavy metal beastmen, which I love. Just great weapons and battle axes. Just so awesome. So yeah, the Minotaurs with great weapons and the Bestigor is definitely going to be a mean core to deal with. Centaurs with Throwing Axes also a pretty good answer against Kolek. And yeah, I mean, I'm really liking Zardar's army so far. In the back, he's going to be deploying those hounds to probably chase down the Marauder Horsemen. For the Forces of Chaos, just a super wide infantry army. So it looks like Halberds, Chaos Marauders, great weapons. So 2 Halberds. It looks like a couple groups of Chaos Warriors, Marauders. Where the Marauders are, it looks like there's also some Chaos Spawn. No, those are actually Chaos Trolls. So the Trolls are actually a really good answer against the Bestigors. That's going to be pretty strong for sure. Yeah, I don't know. We got Kolek Sand Eater, we got some Dragon Ogres, and it looks like that's going to be all she wrote. So yeah. 2 groups of Marauder Horsemen, which are going to be useful. Granted, the Hounds are definitely going to be capable of chasing them down. I think he accidentally forgot a caster. I think I saw him select one, then he like changed one thing. So I think he just forgot to re-add one, which is a little bit unfortunate. You should always bring a caster. For anyone watching this, there's never an excuse not to bring a caster. It is all, you're wasting so much real estate with Winds of Magic, so you always want to. But if he's able to win this, that makes it even more impressive. So go when ready. All right, here we go, guys. It is time. It is time. Your troops have uncovered hidden foes. So it looks like the Vanguard here of the Warriors of Chaos got to be throwing some spears with Bestigors. Throwing axes will respond, but the Warriors of Chaos Marauder Horsemen do have better range. So they're going to be able to outrange these Centaurs if they're microed effectively. Granted, you have to be careful because Centaurs can beat them so badly in melee. So if they're able to just like chase them to the edge of the map. Oh, and the Hounds are coming as well. So the Hounds are going to swoop and cut off this angle, and maybe he's going to be able to get those guys. That's going to be very interesting. So the frontline engagement is almost here. These Minotaurs with great weapons are going to be so heavy metal, which is going to be pretty awesome. So here it comes. Bestigors are going to be charging in just a moment. Here comes the first charge. They are just going to crush these Chaos Marauders. It is going to be absolute destruction. So here comes the Beast, lowering their horns. Oh no, it looks like they kind of let themselves get charged, which was a little bit weird because they had the order, right? Anyways, the Chaos Trolls charge in, but Zardar gets a counter charge with the Minotaurs with great weapons. And man, these Trolls are just going to get destroyed by Minotaurs with great weapons. Yes, oh my god, they're just getting dumpstered so bad. And it looks like Chaos Marauders piling in as well, but those guys just, man, just getting the business so hard. In the meantime, Yankee Moshpit actually with the Vanguard of Hounds that I did not see. He gets a really good rear charge against the Centaurs and a big old Pendulum going down as well, which does hit these Marauders, but it doesn't do too much damage. So over here you can see that these Ungor herds are being taken out by the Forsaken. A good charge here coming in from the Centaurs, actually getting those guys, getting the Marauder Horsemen and Poison Hounds and regular Hounds coming in. But the Dragon Ogres are moving forward. The Beastmen have won the center pocket pretty aggressively. Minotaurs with great weapons are going to be just bum rushing Kolek here. Definitely have the potential to do a ton of damage. Enfeebling Foe going down from Zardar as well. But Zardar responds, or Yankee Moshpit responds very, very well using the Dragon Ogre. So we do have pretty much a pit fight here, right? Of big units. The Beastmen, if I were them, I'd probably get my Poison Hounds up and around here to poison these Dragon Ogres. Morker, the Shadowcaster, the Chaos Spawn are all going to be rushing over here, putting all of their marbles in this fight. This is where the world ends, right? So the Bestigor herds right here are going to be fighting up in the front versus Forsaken. Some of these halberds are doing pretty good, but Chaos is also pretty heavy duty in terms of the infantry fight. It looks like they're winning on many fronts. The Chaos Warriors actually trading upward very efficiently. Now I don't know, yeah, it looks like the Chaos Warriors actually do win that engagement here, but these Bestigors are able to just smash those Marauders, and they'll probably get a rear charge right here if they want to. So Kolek is taking a bit of damage. Morker does get another group of Chaos Spawn, which definitely normalizes the bounce of power a little bit. Throwing Axes are now pelting in here, going after Kolek. Those Throwing Axes are going to be the deciding factor for sure. Those guys are just going to kind of, work down the Dragon Ogres. We're actually getting really low. I mean, the poison from the Chaos Spawn Morker, some spears charging into the back. Big Daddy Kolek's in a little bit of trouble here. I mean, he's a little bit surrounded, and the Beastmen are just grinding this fight out. So as far as the rest of the army goes, the Bestigors are kind of working the Chaos Infantry. You can see here, these guys have 46 kills, 37 here, definitely not bad. In Zardar, it looks like he moves the Chaos Warhounds across. I'm not sure where he's going with those guys. I think he's going to be chasing down. Ooh, he put them in like a bit of a narrow pattern to fit them through that seam, and I would imagine he's going to be chasing these Marauder Horsemen right here. So the Dragon Ogres and Chaos actually stabilizing a little bit because their Halberds do get in there. The Halberds giving the anti-large bonus against the Minotaurs and some of those other tools. Bestigors piling in as well. Both players just throwing everything they have at the screen right now, putting everything they have in this fight here. Morker's doing pretty good with his Pimp Claw, but Kolek is also giving him the business with his Giant Star Crusher. Centaurs and Throwing Axes in relatively good shape. 25 models here. We do also have 27 here. Yankee Moshpit realizing that there's a bit of a threat is going to rush out with the Chaos Marauders here and just intercept those guys. And Kolek, it looks like he's going to be trying to go out and clean up some of the Hound pressure to make sure that his horsemen will be in good shape here. So, Bestigors are still fighting. Minotaurs, so the Great Weapons are still fighting here. It looks like we're going to have the Call of Violence going down. Morkers is going to be charging back in. These Halberds are just proving to be MVPs. I mean, they're just tanking this Beastman army so incredibly hard. Standard Eyes being popped as well, which is going to give leadership and melee defense. Kolek coming in with that giant-ass hammer. And Feebling Foe has been popped on him to kind of lower his offensive stats as well to make sure that Morker can kind of squeak away here. But it looks like Chaos might be able to claw their way back into the game here. I mean, the Chaos Warhounds are going to probably kill off these Marauder Horsemen, but these Marauders doing a pretty good job chasing down these Centaurs and screening them with their shields, right? So, I don't know. It's a pretty tight game. The caster for the Beastman is looking very, very beat up. He's wavering. He's running. He's actually now terrified. The Jagged Dagger has been popped as well. Bestigor herds are charging back in, and this is just a very, very messy fight. No clear winner so far. Warriors of Chaos with the Halberd play. I think the Zardar might have committed too hard to that pit fight and just left his Minotaurs to fight against the grindiness of the Halberds, whereas they're mobile. He could have pulled back and re-engaged, but I think he just committed to that fight a little bit too hard. And now it looks like the Warriors of Chaos might be able to pull back into this game. Morker, the Shadow Gave, definitely a little bit outmatched in terms of his dueling capabilities here, as Kolek and these Chaos Warriors can definitely pound him into the earth. That is not going to be a fun engagement for him. It looks like some of the Hounds of the Beastmen are going to be charging in to intercept these Chaos Warhounds. And it looks like Chaos is going to take this one. Wow. And Zardar was actually ahead in the bounce of power. The Beastmen were ahead. But I think a couple situations of letting his Throwing Axes kind of slip up and also staying too long, because the Halberds were not there in the beginning of that fight. Eventually they got in, he stayed, and let the Halberds saturate and do their damage, right? And from there, I think he was in a little bit of trouble. Throwing Axes are still online. Zardar maybe could pull something back, but I don't think so. I think Kolek is just too alpha. He's going to be able to just roam around and kill whatever he wants here, and that's going to be all she wrote. No mage army is OP. Yeah, totally. I mean, imagine if the Warriors of Chaos had brought like a Deathcaster, like the Fate Buna on Bestigors and the Spirit Leeches on it would have ended the game so much quicker. So right here, Morker the Shadow Gave is going to get pounded out by Kolek, and that's going to be all she wrote. So here comes Big Daddy Kolek raising his hammer up in the skies like Thor, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Yeah, the Chaos Gods are strong today. They're strong. Chaos is 2 for 2. So guys, we have a best of 3 here. We're going to game 3. Yankee Mosh Pit. Some solid micro for sure. And that is going to be 1-1. So who's going to be Zardar Chota War or Yankee? Going in hot. Looks like Zardar Chota War. Now, I've played against Zardar Chota War when he's using his Dark Elves, and he is very good with Dark Elves. He is very, very good. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Yankee Mosh Pit, of course, is going to be going to the Beastmen. So the Beast Boys are going to be back. We're going to see probably some more Morker, I would imagine. Take a wand to a sword fight. Yeah. Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for joining. Streaming is something I look forward to like every week. I just get so excited. Like, I would love to just do tournament streams like every day. That'd be so much fun. Now, just give me your honest opinion, you guys. Would you guys get like bored if I were to do like streams every day? So let's say like 3 or 4 days a week, I do like a tournament stream. Now, not a big tournament, but like, remember those old school like best of 5s, best of 7s I used to do with like Gabo King and Dov and all these guys? Like, would you guys like to see those with like tournament players, like on a more regular basis? Or do you prefer just to get like more normal videos? You know, just like battle casts or whatever we call them. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If like, you know, streaming twice a week's good, or if you want more regular streams. Is that what you guys look forward to on the channel, or is it kind of a balance of both? Yes, Misha, you're right. I know, it's way better than watching TV. Although Anna and I, oh man, I remember Lady Turin and I like a couple weeks ago. Well, this might have been a month ago now. We were sitting and watching like the Jerry Springer show and like the Mari show and like, oh my god, those shows are so good. They're so good. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe just more like streams. But like each format would be different. So like the weekends could be like the big tournament streams, and the ones during the week could just be like best of fives or like different things, best of sevens, things like that. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Christopher Bruns, thank you. I can never be bored of you, senpai. It's actually senpai. SENs. I'm sad that I know that, but I study Japanese for 4 years. Thank you so much, man. I can speak decent Japanese though. If you guys ever want to hear me whip it out. It's funny because I don't even like anime, but yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, bro, do you love anime?" I'm like, "No, no." Oh man, Lady Turn's doing good. Yeah. Oh my god, I love the Mari show. I love the Mari show. It's so good. And Jerry Springer is like the greatest thing on the planet. Oh man, it's amazing. Yeah, I hear you, Wookie. Great name, by the way. 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, fair play. Fair play. Omae wa shinderu. Nani? You want some Japanese? はじめまして。僕の名前は Turin。僕の仕事はトートウォー YouTuber です。僕の頭が痛い。なぜなら too much coffee. Cast a match in Japanese? I'm not that good. No, I just have like very basic conversation. とてもすごいです。とてもすごい。You know what animes I did watch back in the day though? I love Dragon Ball Z. I know that's probably like what the like hardcore anime fans consider like a normie, but I love me some old school Dragon Ball Z. Um, so at my high school they were like, you can either study Latin or Japanese, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna study Japanese. Yeah, yeah, I was like, all right, let's do it. Nathan, your grandpa sounds like a good man. That's like the best entertainment, just to sit there with like, there's nothing like sitting like on a lazy boy. Oh, I better let them know they can start. There's nothing like sitting on like a big lazy boy chair, just with like no shirt on, just in your boxers, just like a fat pot belly sticking out, and just watching like Maori show or like Jerry Springer, and just eating like horrible snacks. There's nothing like that. It is such a rich American experience. Leo Gonzalez says, "Can you make another?" Um, that'd be pretty funny. Thank you, Leo, for the donation. Clapping. Oh my god, that's actually pretty funny. That might be, yeah. That's very true, Misha. So as far as Japanese goes, I can write hiragana. I can write the hiragana. There's a couple different alphabets. I can write hiragana. I don't know katakana, which is like the for writing foreign languages. I used to, but I forgot it. And I don't know. I know a couple characters in kanji. Yeah, but really, I've forgotten most of it, unfortunately. Because I mean, I studied that when I was 17 years old, and I'm 30 now, so it's been 13 years, and I haven't been using it. So that's funny, Mark. Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, Chris Hansen. Oh, Dateline is so good. To Catch a Predator is such a fun show. Oh my god. Like when my favorite part about To Catch a Predator is when they try and run. There's just like all these cops waiting outside, and they always are just like these out of shape dudes just falling all shameless, all shameful in the grass. Oh god, don't get me going about my white trash American shows. I love those so much. Okay, guys, back to Warhammer. Boka samurai desu. Oh no, I'm not a samurai. Uh, I don't know, Connor. Yeah, we're just gonna have like 50 dogs. That's gonna be our plan. All right, guys. Here we are. Game 3, Zardar Total War, Yankee Mosh Pit. With all of the marbles on the line, we're going to see the winner of this going on to the finals to face the final boss, Lore Master of Sotek. So, man, we have a lot at stake here as the players load into the game. We're going to have a pretty fun matchup. So, no undead, really. We haven't seen any... it's going to be Dark Elves versus Beastmen, which is a very fun matchup. But we're not going to be seeing any Vampire Counts or Coast or Tomb Kings. I'm surprised. But yeah, I mean, to each their own, for sure. Shindelu. Samui des? Yeah, it is. It's a little bit Samui in California. Samui means cold. That's what he's talking about. All right, so for the forces of the Beastmen, it looks like a massive angry vanguard of Goreherds, and these are the dual-wielding variants. So these bad boys are going to be hitting hard. They can definitely crump, you know, Bleak Swords, Dread Spears. They probably trade relatively evenly with Corsairs. I don't know about Witch Elves. They're probably going to lose, but they'll still put a big dent in them for their cost. So definitely a solid front line here for Yankee Mosh Pit. Behind that, he does have Malagor the Dark Omen, and it looks like he's going to be summoning Cygors in the deep. He does also have Minotaurs with shields and Minotaurs with great weapons. So just a meaty, angry army here for the Beastmen and a massive vanguard. So Centaurs, Hounds, and Hounds. So he literally has his Dark Elf army fully surrounded. I love this map. It's just so aggressive. Anyways, so here we go. For the forces of the Dark Elves, it looks like in the front line we have Dreadspear, just going to be taking the beating for Kane, I guess you could say. Sisters of Slaughter here in the front. These guys are going to be mean. Sisters are so obnoxious. They literally fight to the bitter end. It's pretty ludicrous for sure. So 2 sisters going to be fighting the Goreherds, but it's going to be a messy affair. We got 2 Khainate Assassins, and as far as the Assassins go, we do have the Witches, or the Black Lotus. Very, very good magic card, by the way. Lowers leadership by 16. We do have the Trophy Heads and the Web of Shadows, which is kind of like a bit of a slow and AoE damage spell. So double Khainate Assassin. We got Big Mama Marathi, so it looks like he's really just going all into the infantry fight here. She does have the Heartrender and the Dark Sword, which lowers melee attack and melee defense, and then also Enchanting Beauty, lowering melee attack by a whopping 18, which is insane. So that's going to be incredibly powerful with these guys, as long as Marathi scoots up here and fights. She does have her spells, of course, probably Soul Stealer and, yeah, just all the usual stuff. Dreadspears in the back, more Witch Elves. Looks like Sisters of Singing Doom somewhere. Nope, they're not going to be here. In the back, he does have Slaanesha's Harvesters for even more debuffs, Mark of Pain, Soul Stealer, a beautiful Dark Elf army. It's very, very powerful. So this is going to be a tough army to crack, guys. With all those debuffs and the Khainate Assassins and then the Sisters, oh man, this is going to be pretty wild for sure. So start and ready. Ready, Torino, he says. All right. I think Beastmen are a really good faction. They're hard to play, high skill cap, but I think they have a lot of... They're very powerful. Beastmen can hang. They have some bad matchups there for sure. So the battle's underway right away. So talk about not having to waste much time. The Beastmen are going to be charging the Sisters here in the river. They're going to be fighting in the water. But Marathi and the Khainate Assassins are going to be charging in as well. And look at how much damage the Beastmen did to the Sisters. But yeah, as soon as Marathi and company get in there, oh man, that is going to be a cleaving in the front line. But over here, the Goreherds are doing a little bit better. The Minotaurs with great weapons charging in a massive flank coming in. The Centaurs with great weapons with the rear charge on the Slaanesha's Harvesters, and they actually get the engagement, dragging down those Slaanesh Harvesters in the back. But if they over pursue, they're going to get trapped in by spears. So, oh man, the Beastmen just going ham, just going hog wild. But unfortunately, now they're going to lose basically 1,500 gold worth of resources. The Centaurs with great weapons are going to just be speared down. Mark of Pain going down, Soul Stealer going down. Both players committing all of their resources right here. The Minotaurs charging in, Korok's Man Rippers. Both players are like, screw tactics, let's just throw everything in the middle and see what happens. And now the Sisters of Slaughter and the Witch Elves are just beast moding it here. They're cutting these Goreherds to pieces. Over here, the Goreherds are doing okay, but the Centaur rear charge was a little bit ambitious from Yankee Mosh Pit, and I think this is going to be probably one of the fastest games here on the stream. I mean, over here, the Beastmen are collapsing, right? They just crushed this outside formation of Dread Spears, but the Sisters of Slaughter and the Witch Elves are all in really good shape, and the Centaurs charging into the back just did not pay its dues. And you can see that Zardar Total War here is just going to be cleaving the Korok's Man Rippers up with the Sisters of Slaughter, who are just amazing in sustained combat. Gorbel's dead. The Minotaurs are trying their best, but there's just no good targets. I mean, they're having to charge into spears, which is not good and tasty at all. So that was a very, very hog-wild engagement, as they do say. Korok's Man Rippers are actually doing a pretty good job kind of holding things together. Goreherds over here are being taken out by the Slaanesha's Harvesters and the Witch Elves, and what a messy, ugly fight. Maybe less than 2 minutes. The Khainate Assassins, I really like that, with the Black Lotus for the Discourage to break the Beastmen, plus the Web of Shadows for AoE damage. Now, the Beastmen do have a pocket of strength over here, right? But they're still Witch Elves, they're still Sisters of Slaughter, and there's going to be a massive onslaught of these Slaanesha's Harvesters and these Khainate Assassins shooting in there, the Black Lotus pressure, it's just going to be nasty. In the middle, the Witch Elves are able to take out the Korok's Man Rippers with the help of the Sisters of Slaughter, and the Beastmen are all rampaging, they're out of control, and man, what a game! That was ludicrous! What a fast game. Oh my god, that Dark Elf lawnmower. Now, part of that was because of the Centaurs just going 2 balls deep into the back line and getting trapped, but man, that was a nasty, nasty build. That was nasty. Oh my god. Calculated bait there. He just like collapsed in. It was like a Venus flytrap. Just like, yes, come in, my precious. All right, so that's gonna be it. So Zardar with the, I told you, he's got his Dark Elf play down. He's going to be moving on to the finals. A very ballsy strategy there from Yankee Moshpit, but alas, it did not pay off for him. The Cygor summons didn't even, I don't think they even got a chance to do anything. Oh my goodness. I haven't tried the new Vampire Coast hand cannon, so GG. Until next time. Zardar, stay. So Sotek, if you're watching in chat, if you could actually join the same lobby, that would be great. And we'll get our finals going here. This is going to be it. All right. So I'm going to take a quick intermission to get some water and do a little bit of stretching for my gimp hands, and then we'll be back and it'll be go time. So thank you guys so much, and enjoy some classical music in the meantime. And here we are in the finals, which is going to be a showdown between Zardar Total War and the Lore Master of Sotek. Let's go ahead and update the brackets here. Zardar, we don't have to change. You have to change this one, however. So thank you guys so much for joining. We're here in the grand finals for anyone who's just getting in. And this is going to be a best of 5. So we've been through an hour and 45 minutes of Warhammer, and we still have another best of 5 on top of that. So guys, you are definitely in for a treat here. So let's go ahead and update the red scoreboard. We just got to... Yes, and we will call him Sotek. And he can be in all caps just for fun. There we go. Extra angry Sotek today. So let's get the army blocker up as well. And we're just going to kind of hang tight. Matthias, thank you for the donation, for sure. Thank you, thank you. And Jesse McCree dropped a $10 donation earlier that I missed. Turin, get Wookiee to shard on me. Yeah, no, thank you, dude. I will get him before the stream's over. For sure. Yeah. Don't worry, Wookiee will make a glorious appearance at some point. Oh my god. Yeah, Wookiee is so nasty sometimes. Ready? Make sure to pick right maps. I better get them the maps because we have a different set of maps for the finals in the initial round. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, he didn't see the maps that I posted in Discord. Okay, so and we'll get the maps here. There we go. So the first one is going to be Mushroom Cave, Iron Sand Desert, Tower of Hoth, and then we have, yeah, 2. So we're good. Hey, Xander Hank, glad you're enjoying the stream. Welcome. Oh, man. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be Tomb Kings and Greenskins. First one is going to be on Mushroom Cave, which is actually a very, very small map. Yeah, thank you again, Matthias, for the donation of the €5. We'll see if Zardar can come in with the upset. Zardar is a very good player. Yeah, even though the main focal point of his channel is campaign, he does do quite a bit of multiplayer. And he's played in a couple tournaments, if I'm not mistaken, so... Andy, as an aside, I work in a veterinary practice in the UK, and we had a dog that looks a lot like Wookiean. Maybe it's one of his cousins for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys, we got 1,286 people in here. If we could get the likes up to 1,000, that would be pretty sweet. Come on, guys, we're in the finals. Drop it. I know you were watching on your toilets with your phones, but now is the time. Why is it showing me the Beastman army from last game? There we go. It's in underground. They're looking for the Mushroom Cave map. It's actually considered a subterranean map. That's why he wasn't able to find it. There we go. Seraphon of Hexwaddle says, love these streams, need Lizardman Lord Pack, Seraphons. Well, Sotek is probably going to play them here. And it is a best of 5, so essentially the first person to do 3 in this case. But yeah, we definitely have quite a bit of Warhammer. At the very least 3 games, on average probably 4 or 5. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Let's go all Savage Army. I mean, you could go the full Savage Orc Army. You could go with like full Savage Orcs just to mulch infantry, and then from there just bring like anti-large options, like trolls. I mean, there are so many weird builds the Greenskins can bring against the Tomb King, so... I might make a Beastman guide someday. The next guide to come out is going to be Vampire Coast, but I don't want to do the Vampire Coast guide or publish it until I actually get a chance to test out the Festog update, which actually changes a lot of the units. So that's why that hasn't come out yet. Yeah. You want the Tomb Kings to win, but I have a hard time rooting against the boys? Well, that's pretty standard. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Sotek's probably going to bring a Meme Lord too. He usually does in the first game, and then he like goes try hard. You know? How did I know, Luke? I know things. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I think that the Tomb Kings might have a slight advantage. I mean, their Tomb Scorpions and their heavy constructs are so annoying for Greenskins to kill. So, I mean, there is plenty that they can do. But, I mean, the boys are a high skill cap faction. They can definitely pay their dues if they want to. Make a newbie tournament, please. Prize is just chance to play against... I mean, this tournament is open. A lot of the players that you guys have been seeing in these, I mean, you've been seeing veteran tournament players, but you've also, a lot of the guys you have been watching are first-time tournament guys who just have played a little bit of ladder and are jumping in for the first time. So yeah, we are open. Yeah. Vampire Coast Guide will come out once I get probably like a week or 2 after the Festog update, because I want to test the units myself to see if my builds are going to change. I don't want to give you guys suboptimal builds for sure. Okay, you got it, Misha. Yeah, no notifications on there, Misha. I saw some earlier. And yeah, I'll make sure to shout them out too before the stream's over. Start when ready. My most wanted race for Warhammer 3? Probably Chaos Dwarves and Nurgle. I would love to get a Nurgle army. Like a Chaos army with like Blight Kings and, you know, like, or not Blight King, that's Age of Sigmar, but like, you know, just Nurglified Chaos Warriors, like, and Nurglings. Oh my god, I would love to control Nurglings as like an annoying harass unit. That would be great. Oh man, there's so many cool things that can come in Game 3. Stale peeps, yeah. We got some stale boys in here for sure. What's going on, Fritz? Thanks again for sponsoring last stream. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. So we determine the combatants from the stream. So basically, you join the Discord channel, the main Total War community Discord channel that Italian Spartacus and I run. You join that, and then there's a request section on the left-hand side. You basically just say, you go to that, it's a sub-channel, you just say, hey, I want to play. I put your name down on an Excel spreadsheet, and there is a bit of a waiting list. But then eventually when you come up on the list, I invite you to the Discord channel, and from there it's just kind of like first come first serve. I just get up in the morning, I'm like, hey, 4 people, first 4 people to say, unless someone schedules with me beforehand and it's like, hey, I can only play on this day or whatever. But yeah, it's just like first come first serve, and you just got to let me know you want to play. And the first couple, this season was definitely pretty much filled up, but the next 2 or the next one, which will probably be, I don't know when it's going to be. It'll be whenever there's a new content drop, is going to be open for sure. I would love a Nurglings. Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Yeah, so that's to answer your question. Yeah, I have a Death Guard Nurgle army in tabletop, so that's how I roll. Oh, I roll, my friends. It is funny, Jesse, for sure. Oh, yeah. A couple weeks ago, I had Wookiee on my lap during a Magic stream, and he like not accidentally, probably did it on purpose, but he shat on me. It was pretty bad. All right. Oh, they're loading in. I better get back in here. The Mushroom Cave. You're welcome, Wookiee. Or Wookle. Are you Wookle or are you Wookiee? It's hard to see if that's an I. Okay. Anyways, we are here with some more hot Total War Warhammer 2 action. We have a showdown between the Tomb Kings, who are going to be led by Grandpa Kotep. DJ Kotep on his DJ booth. Going to be dropping some sick beats on the Greenskins. And honestly, as much of a meme as he is, he does have some pretty good tools. He can pick off the missile units for the Greenskins. And on top of that, he does also have the free vortex abilities, which are very good against Greenskin infantry. So he has some pretty good tools. Like that quite a bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Tomb Kings army, who are going to be led by Lore Master of Sotek. Front line is going to be Skeleton Warriors and Chaff. Obviously not going to be bringing much to the table in that respect. But yeah, he's going to set up here first. So he's got Grandpa Kotep. He does also have a Necrotect, or a Tomb Prince. So Tomb Prince is an anti-large specialist. And it looks like he's going to be on horseback. So pretty good at assassinating Greenskin Lords, going after the Arachnarch Queen, enemy cav units, all that kind of good stuff. For the rest of his army, it's going to be skeletons mostly. So Skeleton Warriors, Skeleton Spearmen, including King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion. Nothing of heavy substance in the front line. A couple groups of Skeleton Archers. So the Skeleton Archers, including the Blessed Legion of Rusty Errors here. You're going to be doing some armor sundering, which is definitely quite nice. And yeah, 2 groups of Carrion as well to kind of fly over and harass the Greenskin Archers. Another very good choice. And I believe he has some Nehekar Horsemen. Yeah, he does have 1 group of those. Tomb Scorpion, which is probably one of the best units against the Greenskins. Some of the more annoying builds on ladder just run like 3 Tomb Scorpions against Greenskins, and it is so tough to kill. So yeah, Tomb Scorpion's here. He has a couple groups of Ushapti Great Bows. Now they're going to be really good against Black Orcs and the high value targets, but the front line is definitely going to get pounded by the Greenskins pretty bad. So he's going to need to get massive value with his range tools. I mean, he has 3 Archers, Kotep, plus 2 Great Bows. That is a big investment in the force here for the range firepower. So for Zardar Total War, he's got a very big force. He's got Black Orcs in the front line, which are a very good choice. You wouldn't think so, but they annihilate all the infantry and they can kill the big armored constructs. They're actually pretty good against Tomb Scorpions and Ushapti and things like that. A couple of groups of Savage Orc Arrow Boys in the back who have better armor piercing and they're a little bit more durable. And I would assume the Rusty Arrow is somewhere. No, actually not. More groups of Maging Marauders, 4 Goblin Spider Rider Archers, so a decent little kind of harass force. For his leadership kit, he does have an Orc War Boss, and looks like a Goblin Big Boss here. And then also he does have a Goblin Shaman with he's going for the glare. The exploding hamster has created a bit of a trend here, it looks like. So the Vindictive Glare is definitely quite good against these big constructs and targets if you spam it. So yeah, that's an interesting army for sure. I definitely think it's, yeah, like having like some of the other buffs like Sneaky Stabbing and, what's that other one called? Itchy Nuisance. Yeah, they're very, very good as well. So he is missing out on those, but again, the Glare is going to be quite powerful. And also the thing about spamming Glare is it works very well with this Sneaky Stealin' on the Night Goblin Shaman. So the true synergy, where's this little bastard? Where'd he go? Where is he? Where is he? Where's the caster? So the Night Goblin Shaman has a passive that's called Sneaky Stealin'. So whenever he casts a spell, it kind of affects the enemy winds of magic. So if you're spamming these very cheap spells, it can be very, very good for sure. So yeah, cool army. Go, 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 and ready. And it's showtime, boys. Oh. Oh man, we're getting in there. I know, the exploding hamster. Yeah, what a beast. You think the DJ is gonna get taken out by the Kamehameha? We'll see. I don't know. I think Sotek is gonna need to really have his Ushaptis tear apart these Black Orcs before the initial fighting, and if he does, he might be okay. There's not. I guess there are a couple of decent answers for the. I mean, the Orc Warboss has pretty good AP himself. He can definitely help against the Tomb Scorpion. So there are tools. Goblin Big Boss can pin on the Tomb Scorpion. Sotek does have a couple carrying, but the thing about Zardar's army is. He actually has Savage Orc Arrow Boys, which are really powerful in melee, so they're going to beat the shit out of those carrion. They'll just sucker punch them, just like straight up uppercut them into another dimension. So yeah, I don't know. There's some give and take there. It is time. All right, guys, so here we go. And it looks like DJ Kotep is going to be dropping some hot beams right here. He's able to hit those Black Orcs a little bit, and it does some good damage. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, over the course of a couple of volleys, it'll definitely wear those guys down in terms of their combat efficiency. And it looks like the forces of Sotek, yeah, they got a little bit of a trek to make. Ushapti Great Bows are going to be shooting in against Force Goblin Spider Riders who just kind of waddled in range. Definitely want to make sure you start shooting the Black Orcs. Those guys need to be put down. That's going to be the biggest obstacle. Everything else in his army is like, you can deal with it, like with skeletons and stuff, but the Black Orcs are just like a menace to society. So from here, it looks like the Ushapti Great Bows are going to be switching their fire onto the Black Orcs. Looks like they're going to be lining up their sights and shooting in a moment. Looks like he's conserving his ammunition, but he should definitely start shooting right now if he's not. DJ Kotep is not firing either, so it looks like... Oh, there it goes. Okay. For some reason, it doesn't say firing on him. Anyways, here comes the bombardment. It's going to be hitting the Black Orcs. It looks like it doesn't kill any models. Does a little bit of damage. Definitely wouldn't be a bad idea to actually bomb the Savage Orc Air Boys with Kotep. And the Great Bows are going to be shooting in now, tearing into the Black Orcs, and that is good and tasty. Those guys are going to start taking a lot of damage as they waddle through the swamps here. And yeah, those guys... Black Orcs are just so monstrous. They're going to be able to tear through this front line pretty hard. There are a couple Night Goblins in the front as well. Those guys might be able to sneak into the back line, but Kotep's bombardment's doing a lot of work. You can see these other Black Orcs are getting pounded as well. So the Great Bow Fire and Skeleton Archer Fire coming in. It's going to be unleashing hell on these Night Goblins who do have Silver Shields, so it's not going to do a whole lot, but I guess he just wants to shoot whatever he can, right? So yeah, really it's going to be, can Sotek protect his back line and his archers long enough to get the value? The Blessed Legion is going to be shooting at the Black Orcs, still just kind of wearing those guys down, and Kotep just raining sick DJ beats, just DJ Tiesto all day, all over the face of those Black Orcs. Those guys are not having a good time. Right here, you can see these Skeleton Warriors are going to be engaging the Night Goblins. Night Goblins will probably win that over a long, grinding fight. So, Savage Orc Air Boys are taking a little bit of firepower from the Skeleton Archers, and the Skeleton Warriors are going to be charging the Night Goblins. The lads are definitely ready. I mean, they're going to poison these Skeletons, which is a little bit funny if you ask me, but nonetheless, Skeletons are going to be poisoned. They're probably going to lose those lads over a long, grindy fight. Tomb Scorpions pushing forward, and it looks like the first of the missile attacks from the Night Goblin Shaman are going to be going after DJ Kotep. He just overcasted something and took damage, but I don't know if the cast went off. Oh, DJ Kotep's going to be dropping some beats, and he does hit these Black Orcs. Oh, and it goes like right down the ranks. Now, it doesn't do as much against armored targets, but nonetheless, it's still a disruption tool. Oh, it might go into these nasty Skulkers here in the back, but it looks like it's continuing to rotate in. So far, over here in this part of the battlefield, it looks like the Ushapti Great Bows have been kind of inundated by Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Skeleton Spearmen are going to be pouring forward to deal with them. Still are a couple groups of Carrion in reserve for Lore Master Sotek, so now he's going to be flying those guys in. Netcar Horsemen, though, are going to be taking the charge, so they missed that, but Sotek responds very quickly with the Skeleton Spears to kind of send them out there to intercept those guys. We got a pit fight on our hands. So in the middle, the Black Orcs are getting taken out by just the focus fire from Ushapti. The Tomb Prince back here, though, is giving the business to this Orc War Boss. So he pops the Opal Amulet, Potion of Strength, and he's just kind of riding circles on a squealing pig. But the Tomb Scorpion's coming back here as well, which could probably tear out a lot of these guys. Black Orcs right here are in somewhat healthy shape. They do have 57 models. DJ Kotep, though, is happy. These Ushapti are compromised, but the other one, the Chosen of the Gods, are back online. They're shooting in, and, they're getting a little bit wild here. So Carrion, it looks like they're going to be sniping the Night Goblin Shaman, which is a good choice. He has very low leadership, very squishy, and the Carrion actually have surprisingly high weapon strength, in the 40s, I think, when they're not poisoned, give or take. So yeah, they're kind of laying a bit of a hurt on that guy. The Savage Orc Archers are going to be scooting back a little bit, and oh man, that Tomb Prince got destroyed. So the Tomb Prince from the Lore Master of Sotek, we'd look away for 1 minute. The Skulkers, the Orc War Boss, and just this leadership kit right there was able to absolutely dumpster him. Anyways, the Tomb Scorpion here is going to continue to fight, but the Orc War Boss and the Goblin Big Boss are chunking him. And this Tomb Scorpion is having a really bad time. Some of these spears are pouring forward. The Tomb Scorpion needs to run back here and hide and be used defensively, because the Orcs have a massive kill box. Savage Orc Air Boys are shooting in unimpeded. They're actually picking apart the Blessed Legion, and the Tomb Scorpion does overextend a little bit, and it's actually going to get taken out by this Orc War Boss. So Zardar Total War here definitely doing a very good job focusing down these big constructs, but the battle is very even. Sotek has lost his construct as well as his Tomb Prince, but again, the Black Orcs are mostly offline, so a lot of the quality for the Greenskins isn't there anymore. There's still 2 groups of fairly healthy Ushapti. Where are these other Ushapti? I know there's like a second group, and he has fallen back with those Ushapti. These Black Orcs are dying from the crossfire. DJ Kotep still dropping those sick beats on some of these Skulkers back here, doing a pretty damn good job. And yeah, I mean, this is a very even fight. Both players fighting to the bitter end. Sotek is able to respond to that loss in the middle by chasing down the Night Goblin Shaman. So now there's no more magic. The Night Goblin Shaman is probably going to be offline, and Sotek should 100% chase that little weasel off the battlefield and keep him, keep him busy. The Ushapti are going to be running forward. Chosen of the Gods, not sure what they're targeting. Oh man, this is not good. The Orc War Boss is charging through the fire and the flames, and he's going to be going up and going after DJ Kotep. Some of the skeleton archers are in the way, and there is an Ushapti summon, which is probably going to be getting dropped back here. So it looks like Sotek is going to be summoning his Ushapti. Beautiful Ushapti summon from Sotek. And that's going to allow Grand Hierophant Kotep to maybe waddle away. The Wa has been popped, the Opal Amulet. Greenskins are rallying in the distance, but the Tomb Kings are holding pretty firm here. And it looks like Sotek might be slightly ahead on the bounce of power with that Ushapti summon, but again, once they disappear, it's going to normalize a little bit. He's using the Chosen of the Gods and his spears to pin these guys in. Look at this. Sotek just locking in that Orc War Boss. The Goblin Big Boss just falling into the DJ's foul trap right there. This is absolute insanity. Anyways, over here, Skeleton Spearmen are able to break off the Black Orcs who are being crossfired by the archers over here and also these Ushapti. And it looks like the Greenskins are getting a little bit tattered on this part of the battlefield, although there are a lot of rallying lads. The Night Goblin Shaman is back online, and there's a lot of Greenskin archers coming back. So the Savage Orc Airboys are going to start shooting in there, melting the Chosen of the Gods. And if they focus fire down the Chosen of the Gods, the other Ushapti will dissipate on their own. But again, his Orc War Boss is getting pounded so badly. I mean, if that guy can't escape, it's going to be pretty tough. 1200 HP. I mean, that hog is done. He's paid his dues, but as you can see, the bounce power is going back towards the middle simply because those summoned Ushapti are slowly starting to disappear. So here we have Goblin Wolf Riders as well as Nasty Skulkers who are fighting these Skeleton Spearmen. Black Orcs are pretty much offline. The Blessed Legion of Demonetization decided to charge into the back line to fight these Savage Orc Airboys, but yeah, Night Goblin Shaman actually breaks again from being too close. But yeah, this archer line from the Greenskins is pretty mean. I mean, I don't know if Sotek's going to be able to stabilize. Maybe Sotek pulls back. No, although he does have some chaff over here. And Ushapti at their very core are quite strong, right? Kotep is healthy. He has plenty of ammunition. I think that, I don't know, too hard to make a prediction. The Greenskins are going to be swarming back around. The Goblin Big Boss is coming back. A massive force of Forest Goblin Spider Riders and Wolf Riders coming up and around the flank. A very, very good fight here. So clearly this is, the finals have worked out as they should, right? Very, very even match between these two players. Zardar Total War continuing to shoot in with his Savage Orc line. The Summoned Ushapti are now almost 100% gone, but it looks like there's a massive break in the Greenskin formation. The Orc War Boss, I believe, has fallen there. It looks like the Ushapti and the Spears got him. Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to be rushing in to attack these Chosen of the Gods, keep them from shooting, which is definitely a good choice. But the Greenskins look like they're kind of running out of steam. I mean, they still have a nice firing concave here and can wear down a lot of these Tomb Kings, but DJ Kotep is just so scary right now. 86 kills on that bad boy. He's definitely not doing bad. I mean, DJ Kotep, oh, and he's going to drop a fat vortex. Or these guys, oh, what a beautiful play from Sotek. He saw those guys charging in. He had a nice timing, and it brings him down to like half health. But look at that. The Greenskins somehow continue to just claw back into this game, and I think it's largely due to the fact that this firing line back here is just generating massive value. But again, the Ushapti are still here. We have 9 Ushapti here. It looks like we have all 9. So both groups are at their full model capacity, which is definitely quite strong. Night Goblins on the flanks for the Greenskins, trying their best to work through. Skulkers coming back in, but I mean, Zardar is putting up a great fight here, and this Archer line might be able to do something. The Goblin Big Boss charging in. He's at 0-3 leadership. He's tanking. He's at 15. He's trying to stabilize, and he's going to get the charge on Kotep, which could be pretty helpful, kind of wearing him down a little bit. But yeah, he's going to probably break off and shatter just due to the perpetual pounding he's been taking. Over here, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders do charge back in there, the Archer variant, and they're able to hit the Skeleton Archers a little bit. Greenskin firing line is still online somehow, and I mean, if he doesn't get hit with army losses, the Savage Orcs could put up a decent fight, but I think with the Ushapti online over here, that's 9 Ushapti. I mean, they're basically as strong as the melee variant, a little bit weaker, but nonetheless, I mean, I don't know. So over here, we do have 2 shots left on the Champions of the Gods, or whatever they're called, the Chosen of the Gods, and that's actually going to be it. So the Greenskins looks like they were going to waver due to army losses, and DJ Kotep is able to pull out that game. So wow, I think it really came down to that one play. It was a very even game. It was back and forth. Both players trading blows. But I think that when Zardar sent in his War Boss and his Big Boss and got trapped by that Ushapti summon, that gave Sotek the game. And it wasn't a mistake. I would have taken that same opportunity seeing him alone. But Sotek laid a beautiful trap using that Ushapti summon and was able to pin them in place because the battle was very dead even. The only reason the bounce of power teetered like that was because one of them was without leadership, right? The Orc War Boss was gone and the Big Boss. Beautiful game. So Sotek goes up 1-0 in a very hard-fought game by both players. That was a great way to start these finals here. Let's go ahead and get the blocker. We'll go into the lobby. And it is time. Amazing game. Game 2. Start anytime. All right. What a game. Yeah, Kotep was really good, right? What a beast he was. Oh, man. Zardar is going to be playing Tomb Kings this time, and we're going to see what Sotek's playing. They're actually in chat right now working out the picks and everything, so. The Battle Roomba was awesome. The Battle Roomba was great. Yeah, I mean, I understand, though, why he went in. Kotep is such a buttery croissant. Like, He is like, so just you're at Thanksgiving, right? You have like your potatoes and there's no gravy on them. Katep is the potatoes and your hand is like, and the war boss is the gravy. You have to put it on. It's just it's so tempting. I mean, that Ushabti summon was really well placed, and he was able to collapse from so many angles. I mean, Sotek with all the schemes and traps today. Yeah. Yeah, the Savage Orc Air Boys are pretty good against Armored Oh, and Sotek going with the Skaven! Oh my god. Can we get a Skaven win against a relatively strong faction? Can we? We will find out. Here he comes. The Skaven hordes. They march for us. And we're going to see what Sotek can pull off. Can he win with Skaven, or Zardar going to normalize the series with a 1-1 here? Yeah, if you're looking for a DLC, 100% go with Vampire Coast. It is so much better. Vampire Coast is like the best DLC. The campaigns are really fun. The story is awesome. Tomb Kings is also really good. Tomb Kings and Vampire Coast, I would say, are like the best DLCs. If you're like have to pick. Yeah. Yes. Skaven, yes. Sotek's always one to entertain. So controversial. Controversial. Thank you guys so much for joining. We got 1,434 people in here. Thank you guys so much for joining on this fine Sunday afternoon. Really appreciate all of you guys and all of the support you've poured out the stream in terms of likes and donations and just chatting here. So thank you guys so much. You know Sotek is going to try and close out the series with his Lizardmen. That's 100% what's going to happen. I'm going to get some water, by the way. Oh, man. Oh. No, I wouldn't say Skaven are particularly good against Tomb Kings, but it's going to be fun. Yeah. It's going to be really fun. Oh, man. The Discord info will be getting linked throughout the stream. I know Misha has dropped a couple links. Oh, yeah. Skaven are the definition of controversial. Yeah, they are. I don't know. I wonder how he's going to play it. I mean, if I were to play Skaven against Tomb Kings, I would probably get like 5 Storm Vermin with the swords and shields, or 3 with shields, 2 with halberds. Like I would get like a Hell Pit Abomination, like 4 Rat Ogres, and just blitz them, and like with Skrulk, and hope I could run them over. Yeah, that's typically how I would play that matchup. But again, Sotek could try something different with like Poison Globes and Artillery. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can play it. So it's 4 a.m. Damn, for you, that's rough, man. Yeah, Plague Claw Catapults are quite strong, but Ushabti Great Bows, and usually, especially on a smaller map like Iron Sand Desert, can take them out. It's hard to say. If you can't beat him, join him. Thank you, Misha. Appreciate your support for linking all that good stuff. Tomb Kings have always been good, in my opinion. I think Tomb Kings are one of the better factions. They're really strong. They're really strong. They have a lot of really good choices. Their lords are all pretty good. They have, I mean, undead infantry in general, just the fact that they don't break is so good. Skaven is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. Empire, I would say, is probably a little bit better than Bretonnia, but they're hard to play. That's why people kind of veer away from them. Do I have the screen blocker up? Okay. I was like, do I not have that up? I mean, these guys are... Sotek and Zardar know each other pretty well, like, in person, so... Well, not real life. I mean... on the internet, right? But through the YouTube community, so I doubt they would stream snap each other, but yeah, warp cannons do very well against Ushabti. Damn, Michael, 6:38 a.m. That's brutal. Are you in where are you? Is that Australia? We got Ninja Hunt in here. Upside down Ninja Hunt. Double Hell Pit with Skitter Leap, double Hell Pit with Death Frenzy, just going crunk. That could be pretty fun for sure. Oh, you're in India. Cool, man. Cool. My brother was in India a couple years back. He said he had a great time. No one is better than the lady. Except glorious Karl Franz with his fat Warhammer. Karl Franz is like the coolest lord ever. China. Okay, Michael. Right on, man. I'll double check. Blood and blood guts. Yeah, I'll double check. Yeah. As far as armies in the third game, I answered this one about 15 minutes ago, but I'd like to see Nurgle armies, yeah, as well as Chaos Dwarves. I'm really excited for that. Like, I want a dwarf army that has monsters. That would be so fun. Oh my god. But then I guess you just have like, yeah, like Vampire Coast. Oh man. Yeah, we played a little bit of Magic last night, but I was just trying to take it easy because I knew I was going to stream today. Yeah, James, if you're going to play multiplayer battles, I would probably start with more simplistic factions that are a little bit more linear in their playstyle, that are also a little bit more forgiving. So I would recommend Vampire Counts or Chaos. Chaos, just go with like heavy infantry and Kolek and just smash things. And then Vampire Counts, obviously, just Invocation of Nehek, Raise Dead, just bring those spells, and bring armies depending on what you're facing. If you're facing an armored faction, make sure to bring some armor piercing, that kind of thing. Yeah, really just, I would like specialize in a couple factions, get really good at them, and then by winning with that faction, you'll master that faction. By losing against other factions, you'll learn about those faction strengths as well. That would be my 2 cents. For the Heldenhammer. I agree. The lads are picking their armies. Iron Sand Desert here in game 2. Oh, favorite Chaos God, Nurgle, 100%. Can you ask that to hurry up? Oh my god. You guys. All right. It is time. Iron Sand Desert, one of my favorite maps from Warhammer 2. You would think it was the Tomb King map, but it's actually not. This map actually came with the Total War Warhammer 2. And it's showtime. All right, guys, we're here in game 2, which is going to be, again, a showdown between Lore Master of Sotek and Zardar Total War. And we got quite a match on our hands, guys. So currently, Sotek is up 1-0. If he's able to sweep the next 2 games, he will be claiming one of the pieces of 8 for the grand finals. Let's go ahead and take a look at his armies. So for his lord here, we do have Tretch Craventail. Tretch, anti-large. He doesn't have the best armor piercing, but he's very tough to kill. So if you're looking for like a resilient Dirt Chief Lord, Tretch is not a bad choice. So very, very excited to see how Big Daddy Tretch does here. And for the main line, combination of Poison Wind Globadiers. Well, not main line, but gun line here. So he's got 2 groups of Poison Wind Globadiers, I think. Let's see, how many does he have? Maybe just 1. Yeah, just 1. He has got some Skaven Slave Slingers, which honestly, pebbles are pebbles. 1 damage apiece adds up over the course of a long fight. And for his main line, he does have a combination of Clan Wrath and Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin are going to be the shield variant, and then he also does have 2 Halberds. He does have some Death Runners as well, some Gut Runners with Poison, Hellpit Abomination, Warp Lightning Cannon in the back. And for his caster, he does have a Plague Priest, and he's just going to be summoning rats, which I think rat summoners are probably the best way to use Lord Plagues. I mean, the Pestilent Breath is actually really good against like the infantry of the Tomb Kings, but for the most part, I think that rat summoning is very effective. Because your formations are going to be buckling like nonstop all the time, so being able to summon rats is pretty good. I know, more meme lords. Well, if you want meme lords, just Sotek's always gonna oblige. Yes, it is time. All right, so that's pretty much it for the army of the rats. Just Storm Vermin, Slingers. I mean, it's pretty mixed forces, but yeah, it definitely looks pretty good. Storm Vermin in the front will hold things down. Globadiers take out the big targets with the Warp Lightning and the Hell Pit, and yeah, just a matter of can he withstand the onslaught, right? For the Tomb Kings, 3 groups of Carrion, which are going to be very good for chasing down Slingers, temporarily shutting down the Warp Lightning Cannon, which is only being protected by Skaven Slave Spears, so the Carrion can probably actually just sit there all day. For the forces of the Tomb Kings in the front line, Nehekar Warriors, which are kind of like the cheap high DPS variant, very good against like Clan Rats and things like that, but they'll get pounded by Storm Vermin pretty bad. So he does have Nehekar Warriors in the front line, a Necrotect to heal up his constructs, a bunch of Ushapti. So clearly Zardar likes his rush builds here, and you can see that he does have 4 Ushapti in total, which will be quite good against most of the Skaven infantry. They will struggle a little bit against Halberd play, but nonetheless, these guys are going to do work. Arc in the Black on his evil cackling Necromancer Chariot with the Spirit Leech, as well as the Soul Blight, and of course all of his good items. And it looks like we do have the Sphinx of Theft here, which is going to be pretty damn strong against that Hell Pit. I mean, this guy, fire damage, massive stats. He crushes Hell Pit's Abominations in duels. But there is Warp Lightning and Globadier Fire, but there's also a ton of other large targets. It's kind of like a threat overload. So go when ready. That is true, Plessy. That is true. Oh. I don't know. This is going to be a tough one here. And here come the forces of the Tomb Kings. Sorry, just adjusting my seat real quick. All right, here we go. So the Warp Lightning Cannon is going to shoot in, taking a couple pot shots here at the Carrion, but the Carrion should just beeline for it. Land Rats or Skaven Slaves are not going to be able to defend off Carrion very easily, and if you send 2 Carrion back there, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill. Granted, Sotek does have supporting elements nearby. You could use his Gutter Runners and his Slingers to kind of, help out against those guys a little bit, so I don't know, it's hard to say. So Warp Lightning Cannons definitely do not want to be shooting at Carrion. He needs to switch onto the Sphinx. I would probably just shoot the Sphinx the entire game and rely on your infantry and your halberds to deal with Ushopti, because that Sphinx is going to be a terror in the night. I mean, the Sphinx is just, this guy's a monster. 53, 53, 550, terror, just 100 armor. Absolute beast of a unit. Anyways, Warp Lightning Cannon's going to be going after, and this actually isn't a bad idea to actually shoot at Ark in the Black. Arkin is a pretty big target here as well. So shooting at Ark in the Black with the Warp Lightning Cannon hasn't really paid its dues quite yet, but still a lot of game to be fought. Tomb Kings are going to be advancing. Obviously, they don't have any choices in the matter, as they are an extremely aggressive, just rollover army. Necrotect is going to be quite helpful with his buffs as well as his healing, and it looks like some of the Slingers are going to be throwing pebbles at those Carrion there, but they better be careful. Those Carrion could swoop down and take them out, no problem. Ushopti here in the center, taking a little bit of damage, nothing. A good old restore from this Necrotect can't heal. And yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see if this Tomb King force can actually mulch through the Skaven. I mean, Skaven have Stormvermin. They have 3 in total, 2 halberds and 1 shield variant. Those guys are, by Skaven standards, pretty damn tanky. I mean, the armor is really going to be quite helpful against the Nehekar warriors. But again, you do have the Ushopti. You have really good armor piercing. So the Slingers are still kind of pelting these Carrion in the back. The other Carrion, it looks like they're still kind of lurking on the wings, and there are some boulders falling down from the cliffs here, which is, kind of funny to see. Warp Lightning Cannon still shooting in. It looks like it's going after the Ushopti. It has killed the model. They're actually taking a bit of damage, but I foresee a restore coming down here relatively quickly. It looks like Big Daddy Sphinx is coming in. All of the forces of the Tomb Kings are going to be bum rushing the Skaven. And can these Skaven slaves stand up to the might of a Cambrian War Sphinx? Probably not. But you know what? They're gonna give it their all, I'm sure. Pebbles coming in. Warp Lightning Cannon has been switched onto the War Sphinx here, and it looks like the massive fight is underway. So the Ushopti piling in, and a massive rear charge coming from Ark in the Black. But the Globadier fire from Sotek is probably going to do some heavy damage here. I mean, yeah, you can see that Arkin. Oh, he didn't take it. He's okay. Now the halberds are going to be piling in. The initial charge taken from the Skaven slaves is good. In the center, the Stormvermin with the swords and shields holding pretty well. Standard eye going down. Globadier fire coming in with Overwatch. And let's go ahead and see where the Hell Pit Abomination decides to go. So the initial Skaven line just gets annihilated. But again, they're clan rats. It's to be expected, right? A little bit of an opening over here. The Tomb Kings could easily rush through and get into the back line a little bit. Warp Lightning Cannon is still working on the Sphinx. And it looks like we have a Kaiju fight. We have the Hell Pit Abomination fighting the Sphinx. I think that's greatly going to favor the Sphinx. It hits a lot harder. The fire damage, of course, he's vulnerable to fire, the Hell Pit Abomination. Now, the Stormvermin are fighting against Nehekar warriors, taking a little bit of damage, but over a long fight, they'll probably do pretty well. Carrion from Zardar Total War are swarming all over the Skaven backline. Skaven slave slingers are just kind of getting feasted on, and that's to be expected. The Globadiers are also compromised. It looks like in the backline, Skeleton Warriors have been summoned by Ark in the Black. Ushopti piling in, and it looks like the Death Runners, which have been kept in reserve, are going to be engaging, but now they're going to be pulling back a little bit. No, the Death Runners are staying to fight. And yeah, they might do pretty well there. Gutter Runners with poison also shooting in here. Hell Pit Abomination is actually out trading this Sphinx, but I think that was largely due to the Warp Lightning Cannon, which has been shooting it the entire time. We have a pretty even fight. The Skaven are holding pretty firm in the center with these halberds, but probably not for long with Ark in the Black attacking them. The Sphinx is at about 40%, which is quite good. And I think these are Plague Monks here, which are fighting, but it looks like they're going to be terror routed. The halberds are doing a very good job against Ushopti. And the Death Runners actually holding up this position surprisingly well. So Tretch is going to be running back here with his pitchfork, and he's going to be poking some of these Carrion, trying to free up his back line. 76 Stormvermin are going to be fleeing from Nehekar warriors here, which is not a good situation at all, letting those guys get into the back line. Hell Pit Abomination with a couple nice pimp slaps here on Ark in the Black, but it's looking a little bit grim for the Skaven. I felt like the army was like a little bit of everything instead of focusing on, just one of the really, powerful type of play. But yeah, Carrion swooping back here. The Warp Lightning Cannon still shooting in here, but the Tomb Kings have a pretty heavy metal force. I mean, Ushopti are here. They have another 10 Ushopti here. Nehekar warriors. I don't know what can even kill the Nehekar warriors, really. I mean, there's no Skrulk with his Liber Bubonicus. The Sphinx is going down, though, pretty hard, actually. I mean, this thing's at 2,000 HP. The Warp Lightning Cannon still somehow shooting. Skaven Slave Spears are like the last bastion of hope. This Hell Pit Abomination might be able to goon out Ark in the Black. I mean, if he could kill Arkin, that would be pretty damn strong. I mean, you can see that Sotek actually pulls his way back into the balance of power with that Hell Pit Abomination back there. Skaven Slave Slingers are kind of rallying, throwing some pebbles back in here, just trying everything they can to get after the Sphinx. And somehow this Hell Pit Abomination has been able to kind of stand and fight. And it looks like there's going to be a new Ushopti summon in the back, but Tretch is, Verminous Valor is allowing him to kind of squeak away a little bit. And you can see he's like, trying to run away in the back and get to that Warp Lightning Cannon. Zardar needs to shut down that Warp Lightning Cannon. That thing has been online for far too long. Now, the Skaven do have a pocket of rallying troops, so he probably has some Winds of Magic left on that Plague Priest, which means there's probably going to be more summons. Stormvermin also rushing back in, which is going to be quite nice. Necrotect getting the fat, juicy restore here on the Sphinx. And Sotek is still clawing in this game. His little rat claws just working as hard as they possibly can to keep fighting. Negative leadership, actually, for the first time here on the Sphinx is he's at -4. Halberd's doing a pretty good job, of course, but it looks like those Nehekar warriors actually trading very upwardly with these Halberds. I'm surprised at how well that's going. Elpid Abomination is still fighting here. The Summit Ushapti is giving a false inflation in terms of the bounce of power here. Tretch is kind of trying to stabilize his Warp Lightning Cannon back here. You can see he does have anti-large, so he might be able to poke down some of these Ushapti with his Pitchfork, and there he goes. He actually takes out one of the Ushapti, which is quite nice. In the meantime, the Plague Priest is trying to run. The Big Daddy Sphinx is kind of chasing him down, so he needs to get back to the battlefield and start using... Oh, what is this Scrying Stone? Damage resistance and leadership? That's kind of cool. Arc in the Black also trying to goon out the caster. A couple rat summons could be pretty, powerful right now. If he was able to get a summon on top of the Hell Pit to kind of help it, because it's just being surrounded horribly, right? The Ushapti and the Nehekar warriors are kind of just like working it down. Even though they're not like natural uses against that unit, you're able to kind of work it down. Yeah, the rats are just going to buckle. Everything just kind of got overrun. But yeah, well played by Sotek. He put up a good fight. That's going to be 1-1 in the series here. And yeah, it just looks like the rat infantry couldn't hold up. For some reason, I think the Halberds just don't have enough melee attack. Their melee attack wasn't able to really chew through even the meager melee defense of the Nehekar warriors. I really think the Sword and Shield variant's pretty solid, but I don't know. I mean, they got more kills, I guess, than the Sword and Shield variant, but these guys also got pile driven by more units. So, but yeah, I would say like when you play Skaven, at least in my experience, it's kind of hard to have a mixed forces army. I find that in order to compensate for the weakness of the Skaven, you need to really go all in on one of their strengths. So you need to like just have a rush army or like double Hell Pit with Rat Ogres, like something like that. Like a Rat Ogre Hell Pit army would have dumpstered this, right? Like double Hell Pits, they would have smashed all over this Sphinx here with Scrollkeys and Libra Bonicus. Rat Ogres would have been able to hard counter the Ushapti, and yeah, I think that's kind of the direction to go. But yeah, well played there. So let's go ahead and update the scorecard. So it's going to be 1-1. So we got a match, we got a series on our hands, boys. Well played to Zardar Total War, bringing the series back against the Skaven. And here we are. Here we are. And I think I missed a donation. So, Colin G, thank you so much for the donation. He says, the internet equals real life, Turin. Yes, that is true, actually. Steela Rizal, you mentioned Vampire Coast, and seconds later I get a unique pirate chest and Path of Exile. 1 in a million chance of that happening. Thank you, man. Well, you're very welcome. That's what I'm here for. I got you, Steel. And thank you so much for the donation, man. And Mark Brugman, thank you for the donation as well, Turn, making this awesome content. Love it. I'll continue to do so until my hands fall off. And we also got another donation during that glorious cockfight there. PayPal, let me go ahead and see. And it's from Matt Jin for 20 euros. Thank you so much. Let me make sure I get your name right. I think my eyesight's getting worse. Matt Jin. Yeah, thank you, man. So here we are. Sotek is done playing. He's going to be switching to his Lizardmen, and we are going to be on the Tower of Hoeth for this third game here. Shetland says, I like watching the globes missing Arkin at point blank for 30 seconds. Go click the thing, or we will hold eternal grudges. What thing are you talking about? Wookie? He's here. Oh, yes, the like button. Yes, of course. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was a cool build. I like Zardar's build. Just kind of a bum rush build, just like Ushapti and Nehekar Warriors. It was cool. It was fun. I don't know how it would like hold up against like Rat Ogres, but it still seemed good. Yeah, they seem to do well. If Wookiee was the Total War unit, he would be a great unclean one. Or a Hell Pit Abomination. For sure. Bartek, thank you for the donation of 25 PLN. Dziękuję bardzo. Dziękuję. Oh, man. Jak się masz? Jak się masz, my friend? That means how are you in Polish, if anyone's wondering. All right, so Sotek's going to be going with Dinos, and it looks like, yeah, we're going to have High Elves versus Lizardmen. This is a fun matchup. One of the classics, right? Oh, man, I better plug in my laptop. Looks like it's about to die here, so let me go get the... Why is there a dog blocking the unit view? It's to stop players from... So basically, when you're spectating a game, you're able to see the players' armies. So whichever player I have clicked, I can see their army. So just to keep it... I mean, I trust most people here, but I give people the benefit of the doubt, right, and trust them. But they could go onto my stream and see their opponent's army before the game. So I put Wookiee there to block that. Oh, man. Kill the pointy ear, Sotek. We believe in your filthy ear holes. Oh my god. I want to see 3 bolt throwers. Zardar probably... Yeah, Zardar really likes the aggressive builds. He's probably going to go with like 5 elite swordmasters, right? Severin for a Lithanar. Oh, hey, what's going on, Falcon? Thank you for the donation, man. This one's for a Lithanar, my dude. I don't know, Shadow King might be okay here. He can, like, sit and poke at, like, Jabba for a while, you know? Yeah, thank you for the donation, man. I know. Trust. I trust a little bit. I try. Croc scores aren't bad. Yeah, I've seen people make croc scores work pretty well. I'm personally not like a diehard fan of croc scores, but I'm also not very good at lizardmen. So, we haven't seen any wood elves today. No. Bring the Everqueen. And a crap ton of wood. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're probably going to see some big angry dinos. I mean, the high elves have some decent answers for large. I mean, you have nobles, you have your own dragons. You have the Sisters of Avalorn. I mean, there's plenty of good options, but again, historically it has been tough for the high elves to deal with like large monsters. So maybe we're going to see something like a Krokar or Jabba the Hutt on Zlok. Zlok is actually quite good. His Vortex abilities, Ruination, and the Banishment is very, very good. So there are some... Lizardmen can't quite heal like they used to, though. The Cold Blood doesn't heal anymore, so you have to rely on Apotheosis and Rev Crystal. Oh, man. Yeah, Misha, we actually have a lot of that in our neighborhood, actually. There was, like... We were... So we have, like, a church across the street from us, and there was, like, the other night, Anna was sitting in the living room, and apparently some like, I don't know if the guy was homeless, but he was, like, yelling all this, like, creepy shit at the church. Like, he was, like, outside the doors, and they were closed, but he was just, like, yelling, like, that he has things in his flesh, and, like, all kinds of weird stuff. Give me some Firebolas. I would love... That new Godzilla King of Monsters movie does look awesome. I'm really excited for that. As someone who watched all the Haggard Godzilla movies back in the day. Everyone ready? It's showtime. Revivification Crystal. Revivification Crystal. I said it. Let's see here. Yeah, there was no. It literally. I made the joke to Anna. I was like, Anna, there's a chaos cultist of Nurgle outside. The Unity Church from Dead Space? No, we don't. It was kind of creepy. You needed some exorcism. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Favorite TV shows? Oh man, I have so many. Hard to say, my dudes. I really enjoy Battlestar Galactica. I mean, I like sci-fi. Firefly was great. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many shows I like. I mean, Band of Brothers is probably like one of the all-time best ones, in my opinion. That one's so good. Oh my god. If you guys haven't seen Band of Brothers, go watch it. It's like an emotional experience. All right, so let's get the army blocker off. We don't want Wookiee sitting in the middle. Wouldn't it be funny if I just cast the entire game with him there? Oh, all right, so for the forces of Sotek and the Red Host, the Dino King. Looks like he does have Lord Mazdamundi atop his mighty steed. He does have Arcane Enforging, which is pretty good. He does Apotheosis and Curse of the Midnight Wind. So yeah, definitely a good spell kit there. For his infantry, he does have a couple of groups of Saurus Warriors and Temple Guard mixed in. So he does have, how many Temple Guard in total? Yes, so 2 Standard Saurus, 1 Spear. He has Temple Guard. On top of that, he has some Skink Skirmishers and some Skink Cohorts on the outsides of the formation, probably to rush around and kind of deal with the High Elf Archers. On top of that, he does have a Bastillodon with the Rev Crystal, which is pretty good in this matchup. I mean, now that Cold Blood doesn't heal, it makes this thing even more valuable, in my opinion. So we do have that bad boy there. In the back, we do also have Coldland Spear Riders, and it looks like we have a Saurus Scar Veteran. So anti-large, armor-piercing tool, more Skink Cohorts. The Jabba the Hutt's going to be really good against White Lion play. White Lions are like such a buttered up target for like big monsters, right? They have relatively low melee defense, even with their martial prowess, and yeah, they're juicy. In the back line, he has a couple of groups of Spearmen. So Spearmen off, obviously a good kind of just chaff unit against dinos. They can hold, they have high melee defense. Dragon Princes are going to be the hammer, so the Dragon Prince is going to be running, hopefully charging into the back of whatever the Spearmen are holding in place. We do have Tyrion for our Lord. Tyrion, a very good assassin, huge armor piercing. He's definitely going to be able to chase down Jabba over the course of the whole game. We do have Sisters of Avalorn, one group, so these guys are the armor piercing missile unit of the High Elves. And it's good that he brought these. I think it's nice to have like 1 or 2 groups of them in this matchup, so that's really good. On top of that, we do also have a High Mage, so we have Apotheosis and Tempest. So Tempest actually, I don't foresee there being, I mean, against Skink Chiefs, I guess. That's probably why I brought that, because Skink Chiefs are such a popular, annoying pick. And in the Force, he has double Dragon Princes, so a pretty mean army. I think it's really going to come down to how good is his Dragon Prince play. If his Dragon Prince charges is on point, he's able to run through the Saurus and kind of clean things up. He'll be in good shape. But White Lions are actually a really good choice against Saurus. It's one of the few matchups in which they really shine, in my opinion. So yeah. Oh yeah. No, White Lions are actually good against Dinos. They trade efficiently with Temple Guard and they trade efficiently with Saurus. I think this is one of the few matchups in which you can get away with like a White Lion front line. Anytime you're ready. Oh yeah, Band of Brothers is like, oh my god, that show is heavy. It's so good though. It's so good. I really love that show. Yeah, the Rev Crystal is really, really important for sure. I think Jabba's going to do some work though. I mean, if Jabba can just rampage through the White Lions and get into the Sisters and then get some really good banishment spells in the blobs, I think that's what could potentially win him this game. But the Dragon Princes are going to run shop. I mean, there's a lot of good targets. I mean, you have some Cold One Spear Riders, but 2 Dragon Princes can easily overwhelm them, especially with an Apotheosis supporting. So it's really going to be a matter of the Cav game, in my opinion. I think the White Lions have an advantage over the front line here, but Jabba, of course, and a Rev Crystal Bastiladon are going to be pretty mean. So there's give and take for both players. Yeah. White Lions have a decent matchup here. Yeah, Tyrion can definitely take out Jabba. 100%. Very, very possible here. So the time is now. Lore Master Sotek is ready. Both players are ready. Here we go. Favorite Warhammer god? Nurgle. Answer that. All right, so the forces of the High Elves here. Looks like they just White Lions in the front. No sword. I guess you don't really need Sword Masters too much. I mean, you don't see them terribly often, I don't think, in this matchup. Oftentimes you just see like massive Spearman lines with a ton of like Cav and no. A freaking dragon would be really nasty right now. Like if he just had like a fat Star Dragon, that could be kind of scary for Jabba. Like I don't see too many answers on the dinos. I mean, Temple Guard can, but the breath attacks would be really good against Temple Guard as well. Dragon, the breath attacks are just really damn good. I know it is hard to tell who's going to take this one. Need to wait for me. Am I a UFO? Oh my god. And here we go. The dinos are going to be advancing forward. Sisters of Avalorn definitely have their hands full. A lot of thick HP for them to get through. Jabba the Hutt, of course, has 7,500 HP, which is pretty big. When you compare that to a Rev Crystal, has 5,700. That is a thick toad up there. So the Chameleon Skinks are going to be working towards the outside of the formation. Dragon Princes are going to be moving up towards the up through the woods here. A couple trees kind of in their way, but for the most part, the Dragon Princes are going to have a pretty good little collapse here. Now, there are some Skink cohorts in the woods. So Sotek's probably going to discover this position, which is going to be really nice. So even if he does lose these Skink cohorts, he's at the very least going to kind of be aware of that position. Maybe he can rotate some spears and some other units to kind of fend those guys off. Because if Sotek does get some spears or Temple Guard out here and mixes them with the Cold One Spear Riders plus Jabba's magic support and this Saurus Scarvet, he should be able to deal with the Dragon Princes. So the Skink cohort runs right up the pipe. They're like, hey guys, what's up? But it looks like they're going to turn away as the Spearmen and the White Lines are going to be advancing forward. Jabba the Hutt's going to be getting in there and definitely doing some work. But here comes the charge. So these Cold One Spear Riders definitely need to attack the Dragon Princes and get some support from the Saurus Scarvet. Jabba the Hutt's going to be taking a massive volley to the face here. Tyrion is probably going to be waiting in the shadows. And that isn't good. So Zardar's aware of that. Jabba the Hutt is like looking to get in here, right? So Tyrion is just kind of waiting. You can see he charges forward and Jabba's going to have to fall back a little bit. Rev Crystal's probably going to go down in a moment, I would imagine. Dragon Prince is taking a little bit of poke, and Arcane and Forging is actually going down in the High Mage, so this is going to add 30 seconds to the cooldowns. The Bastiladon does run in here, and it's probably going to be charging back here. So Ruination of Cities, I would imagine, going down to the back. Looks like Jabba the Hutt's going to be casting some Witchcraft here, and it does get, ooh, that's pretty good. That wasn't bad. That did some decent HP damage. It is a free spell, so definitely can't complain. But Jabba's taking a lot of work. He's probably going to be dropping a Banishment back here as well. That Arcane and Forging did huge damage against that mage. Here comes the Banishment. So at the very least, it's going to force the Sisters to move, but he needs to get some pressure on those guys. So it looks like Sotek's going to be charging in the center, trying to get on the Sisters, but a massive counter charge from the Dragon Princes is kind of waiting. Oh, the Cold One Spear Rider is going to take the charge, and Sotek commits at the last second, realizing he kind of has to fight that. Now, he does have a Saurus Scarvet here with the potion, and it looks like the Bastillodon's able to push forward here with the Saurus Warriors, and they're able to beat down the White Lions. Over here, however, the White Lions are winning against the Spearmen. Jabba the Hutt is helping, though. Jabba, if he gets like one fat charge, like right down the pipe here, could probably actually win this fight for the Saurus Warriors. So pretty even battle right here. In the middle, we do have the Saurus Warriors as well as the Scar Veteran actually laying a holy whooping on Tyrion. So Tyrion is getting spanked by the Saurus Scarvets here. The Saurus Scar Veteran plus the Saurus Warriors. I'm really surprised at how quick he's going down. Granted, this Scarvet does have anti-large, and he also popped the Potion of Strength, which put his weapon strength up to 560. Jabba the Hutt coming in with a very thick charge right there. He gets right in the thick of things. The Skink cohorts with Javelins are going to be piling in as well. So both players committing a lot of resources. Oh man, Sotek needs to get these Skink Skirmishers and attack the Sisters of Avalorn. If he were able to get these Skinks up and around the back line and shut down the Sisters, he would be in a very dominant position right now. But the fact that the Sisters are still shooting is giving a lot of pressure on Jabba, which he definitely is not happy about. He probably still has a lot of Winds of Magic. And oh man, a Banishment would be so good right here, right now. So the Cold One Spear Riders, it looks like they did disengage behind the Saurus Warriors, and they're going to be charging into the back line now. So Sotek forcing these guys back and through. But there are some Dragon Princes back here, but here comes the charge. The Cold One Riders do get in there. They're definitely going to mulch on some of the Sisters, but Zardar with a very beautiful countercharge here from the Dragon Princes. So those guys are going to engage. Tyrion is here as well. A lot of pressure coming in, and man, this is a very, very close back and forth fight. Over here, the White Lions trading really well with these Saurus. And I mean, even though they did take a couple charges from Jabba, they're doing pretty well. In the main fight, you can see this Saurus Scarvet is able to fend off the Princes a little bit. Saurus Warriors and Skinks should be able to take out these spears. But it looks like Tyrion has isolated the Rev Crystal. And again, with his massive armor piercing, he's going to be able to do some really, really good work here. So man, what a battle. Mazda Money in the meantime is kind of supporting this far side flank with the Skink cohorts. And it looks like there are a couple Saurus left. And he's probably going to terror out the White Lions, I would imagine. Those guys aren't immune to psychology, so they could definitely be terror routed. But Jabba the Hutt's doing his thing. Apotheosis going down from the High Elves, which is going to be very, very nice on these Dragon Princes who have paid their dues so far this game. Now, we do have the Saurus Scarvet. Some of the Skinks are coming up and around the back, which is definitely going to be huge. A couple Dragon Princes going to be Last Samuraiing into these guys. Ruination of Cities going down as well. Not the best cast. I mean, not Sotek's fault, of course. It is completely random, so... but unfortunately, it doesn't hit those Sisters. And Jabba the Hutt's just kind of cycle charging back and forth. Thankfully for him, though, the Saurus Scarvet is still in pretty good shape. Tyrion's actually a little bit beat up, but remember, Tyrion does have the Heart of Avalorn, or the Star of Avalorn, or whatever it's called, so he's able to heal up. But man, this Bastillodon with the Rev Crystals going down really quick. Shield of the Old Ones being popped, giving fat damage resist. A nice Banishment going down, and finally the Skink Skirmishers are getting into these Sisters here. They've needed to be shut. They should, like, really need to go down. Sunfang going down as well, which is going to be roasting some of the Saurus. It looks like he does some decent work against the Temple Guard. And the Rev Crystal, who's actually wavering now. So this guy's wavering with 12 leadership. Jabba, though, causing some terror, but Tyrion swiggity swooty coming for that Jabba booty, and it's going to be a little bit tough. Lord Mazda Money needs to start scooting around, getting away, but he doesn't have too many things to hide behind now. Maybe over here is probably his best bet because there's a lot of Skinks, but Tyrion is a hunter. I mean, that guy is fast. He has close to 100 speed, I think. Yeah, it looks like 95 speed. Jabba the Hutt is definitely a little bit slower. So there are some Temple Guard here. It looks like there's 35 models in total. Those Sisters are just pouring on the steady pressure, doing a lot of work against Mazda Money, but he still has 2,300 HP. That Rev Crystal doing a lot of work. And yeah, I mean, the Dino Infantry are doing pretty good. This is just such a grindy fight. White Lions here are pretty beat up. The martial prowess of the High Elves is starting to fade a little bit. And a net would be really nice right now, oh man, to kind of pin those guys down. But the Mage is going to be charging in as well. But Jabba gets a huge charge right into those guys. Probably going to be terror routing some of them. Sister's definitely taking a big blow. And the Saurus Scar Veteran is actually doing a pretty good job hunting down Tyrion, but Jabba is just on the run, just like having problems. But this is going to be good. If Jabba can like just ride back and forth like amongst these Skinks, yeah, just like pile through here, and that'll actually get him away from Tyrion. But Tyrion has been able to heal up quite a bit with the High Mage using Apotheosis. But that maybe a 2v1 or a 2v1, 2v1. My brain just stopped like working for a second. Or an EXE stopped working. Saurus Scar Veteran is going to be hunting down Tyrion, which is definitely good. Tyrion could probably turn and kill him, but nonetheless, I think he wants to kind of loop around and maybe get on Jabba. So if we take a big look at the battlefield, it's really close. I mean, both players, their armies are very, very tattered. Right here, we do have the Dragon Princes coming in. There's like only like 9 of them. It's not going to be super impactful. If the Rev Crystal is able to get a couple more heals, that can be pretty good. Now, Apotheosis is going down on the Bastillodon. Tyrion is charging in, and he gets a pretty nice smacking blow there on the Bastillodon, who is rocking 28 leadership. Skinks are piling in, though. Chameleon Skinks have poison. Temple Guard are still fighting to the bitter end. They have 1,000 HP, should be able to beat up these White Lions. And look at that. Sotek is actually able to get the Saurus Scarvet and finish off the High Magic Mage. Well, not 100%, but he breaks him. But the Mage will probably come back, but that's still a really nice grab. Now, the biggest problem, though, is going to be dealing with Tyrion. He's just such a beast. Mazda Money's down to about 1,500 HP. He's definitely not happy about this situation. But at the very least, he does have that leadership bomb. So he's able to kind of just perpetually terror out everything. But yeah, if I guess maybe get the Saurus Scarvet and just kind of pin in Tyrion amongst these Temple Guard, that would actually be good. And oh, look at this. Sotek's actually going to be countercharging to pin in Tyrion. So Tyrion is kind of surrounded a little bit here. This is going to be really, really nice. Now, the High Elves have a couple troops rallying, I think. They got some Spearmen here. Where are the Sisters of Avalorn? But they're looking really beat up, and it looks like Sotek might come back here. It was looking like he was on a lot of trouble with Jabba the Hutt just running this entire game. But Tyrion, guys, if he has another Sunfang and he drops it right here and is able to rout off the infantry, Tyrion might be able to win this game, like by killing like all of these guys, especially if he gets a proc of the Heart of Avalorn here, or the Star, or whatever the hell it's called. I think it's the Heart. But yeah, that could be really scary. So Jabba the Hutt able to terror route and break those Spearmen. Actually, just not a terror route, but actually just a standard break. The Saurus Scarvet actually might be able to win this game out, and Jabba needs to like just Tokyo drift and just come like up and around here and just like run back and around and just run Tyrion in circles, because every time Tyrion has to run, he's taking attacks in the back from the Saurus Guard veteran, which is beautiful. And Jabba charges in with those horns, doing quite a bit of work. And in the back, you can see the very, very good play from Sotek. He's able to get those Skink Skirmishers and chase down this High Mage and shatter him to make sure Tyrion has no more free healing. Sunfang coming down, though. It's able to roast a couple of those Temple Guard and those Skinks, but it looks like that's going to be it. And Sotek and the Red Host are going to pull out the victory there. What a game. What a game. That was amazing. Man, this is a very evenly matched final between these two. These games are great. So Sotek coming in with Jabba the Hutt, his royal thickness, and he's able to take out the High Elves and Tyrion in a very close, hard-fought game. So well played to Loremaster as well as Zardar. They both put up a great fight. The Dragon Prince play was on point. The counter charges were solid, but the Toadman was able to just stick it out to the bitter end. That was it. That was it. And let's get Wookiee. Update the scoreboard. So if Sotek takes this next one, he's going to be claiming a piece of 8 and moving on to our grand finals, which will be in January. So go here. What a game. Loud Carnosaur roar of triumph. I like it. Yeah, we're in the finals now. I thought Sotek was in trouble, but he was able to just like keep fighting in Tokyo. Jabba was literally Tokyo drifting. It's like circles around Tyrion and just dragging him through that Saurus. That Saurus Scarvet was the real MVP though. So Zardar going to his best race, the Dark Elves. Oh man, I hope Sotek plays Vampire Coast. Yeah. Yeah, let's try to get those likes, guys, if you're enjoying the games. Reaper, no, you missed it. You're at work on Sunday. Or maybe you're in Australia or something. It could be the morning. Yeah. Tyrion never got his heal. Yeah. Well, that's why you usually save Tyrion for last, because then you can just break him due to army losses. You know? Lord Toad on his dinosaur is tanky, yeah. He got those sweet lizard trinkets. Oh, he's going for the coast. I actually have a build with Vampire Coast that is so disgusting against Dark Elves. It just punishes them so bad. I'm curious how similar Sotek's build will be. Seems fitting that Sotek would get the lizard trinket. Yeah. So he brought the lizard trinkets, and now he's going to try and take them from the Dark Elves to give them back to the lizard men. No, I'm not playing in the tournament. No. I want this to like spotlight community folks. If Sotek, I think, is going to have a tabletop tournament soon that I'll be playing in, where you bring one army and one list only, just like you do in tabletop Warhammer. So I'll play in that one. That'll be the next one I play in. I mean, I could play in it, but it's kind of like, yeah. Yeah, 2v2. Thank you for the donation, Dead Soup, and there will be 2v2 tournaments once the season's over. So once we finish the next two qualifiers, or the next qualifier in the finals, I will be having a 2v2 tournament as soon as that's over. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell because we actually haven't had too many vampire counts or like. Yeah, it's been interesting. Today's been interesting. We're probably not going to see bloated corpses. Probably not. Knowing Sotek, there's going to be some lizard trinkets. So, that would probably be my guess. Oh, hey. Rising from the sea. Oh. Alright, guys, I'll be right back. Gonna get a little bit more water. I return. Looks like the players are still picking out their armies here. Big thanks to all of you guys for joining and sticking around for a full 3 hours. It's been a balls deep stream for sure. Malekith and 5 Black Dragons. Probably not going to see that. I don't know. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, I think Bleak Swords and Dread Spears do pretty well. Probably just Bleak Swords in the front line to deal with the zombies, and then from there, I mean, you can use Corsair Handbows, you can use Dark Shards. There's a lot of different answers Dark Elves have. Oh, man. See you later, Mark. See you later, my friend. Thank you for joining today. Yeah, so this is a fun matchup though. I'm personally a huge fan of the Necrofex Colossus against Elvish factions. I feel like it's like the best choice. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if Sotek brings in it. He's got a. I see his build here. It's pretty interesting. We got another donation on the PayPal coming in from Cole. Cole dropping the $5 on PayPal. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Yeah. And this is going to be on Tower of Hoth, which is a somewhat open field map. So it's definitely going to be good for Vampire Coast. I mean, they can afford to kind of just sit and wait for the Dark Elves to come to them. But knowing Zardar, it's probably going to be a super rushy build. Like, I can see like a front line of Bleak Swords with like 5 Witch Elves and just like, just bum rushing, right? Which could be fun. I know, Moonlit Fairy. It's very true. They're all pretty good. The rules for the tournament have been linked a couple times by Misha. Basically, they just have limits on like certain number of units. Like you can only bring like, it keeps people from spamming big monsters or bringing entire armies of like ranged kite units. Like it's really good. Really good. Yeah. Thanks, batteries. Appreciate it. Shetland. When my hand is feeling better, and probably on Tuesday, I will show you my Dark Elf versus my Vampire Coast versus Dark Elf. It crushes sisters. It just annihilates, mops the floor with Dark Elves. It is very strong. I'll show you. Oh man. No, I'm a big fan of the Colossus for sure. Because the Colossus can outrange their archers. It's a big monster's terror-causing unit. 45 speed is no joke, actually. It can like waddle away from most threats, and it's a lot more reliable than the cannons, I think. Cannons are okay, but Dark Elves have a lot of like tools to kind of compromise them and stuff. So, yeah. I wouldn't say like if you're gonna ask me about like strategies for Vampire Coast. I mean, I can give you overarching strategies or overarching like kind of like like defensive and different things like that. But like if you really want to get like a dynamic analysis, like just give me a matchup and I can tell you like what to do in that matchup. A full army of Carnosaurs could be fun, but it's also like it's not that fun. I mean, you're probably just gonna lose, to be honest. If they have like a couple spears, your Carnosaurs will just get dragged down because they'll rampage and just die in spears and halberds and stuff. Okay, here we are in game 4. So currently, Lore Master of Sotek is up 2-1 here in the grand finals. And whoever wins this is going to be earning one of our pieces of 8 here. You can see the previous champions. So Rydist, Flying Taco, Falcon, Pippington, Exploding Hamster, and Rigson. These guys are fighting for the final spot here. So we're going to see if Zardar is able to normalize the series and bring it back, or if Sotek is going to take the series 3-1. So for the forces of the Vampire Coast, we do, of course, have the illustrious Luther Harkin. So if Sotek isn't guarding the lizard trinkets, he's going to be taking them. So Luther Harkin definitely not a bad choice. One of the better assassin lords in the games. I mean, he could just fly over and troll you with his pistol. He's very annoying, and he has a breath attack as well. Aside from that, he does have zombie deckhand mobs with polearms in the secondary line, and polearms are just so good. They have good armor piercing, and they just hold forever. It's just so much HP. They have 9,000 HP. They're so tanky. I mean, not in terms of melee defense, but HP. Necrofex Colossus here. He does also have the Shade Wraith Gunners, which are going to be quite a bit of fun to watch. And he does have a Necrofex Colossus. So pretty scary army. He has one group of deck droppers with the handguns and also a carronade in the back. So pretty mixed forces army from Sotek here for sure. But the Colossus is definitely going to be very strong. On top of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the forces of the Dark Elves. So Zardar Total War, bring it in with a couple Shades. Now, Shades are an awesome choice against Vampire Coast because they have stock, they have heavy armor piercing, they can close that gap very quickly, and unlike Dark Shards and Corsair Handbows, they're going to be invisible until they want to be. So I think the Shade pick from Zardar is very, very solid. Granted, they're squishy, so you need to be careful. He does also have a Reaper Bolt Thrower in the back. The front line is going to be Bleak Swords and the Hell of Ronai, the chillest of the bros in the world. Sorceress with Fireball and the Flaming Sword of Ruin, and he does have Lokir Fellheart on foot. Oh man, this is going to be awesome. So Lokir versus Luther is going to be a very, very thematic matchup. We're going to see if the Dark Elves can pull this one out. Yeah. Thank you, Jan. Really appreciate it. Vampires are really good. Yeah, I think Tech Droppers will still be viable. They won't be quite as good, but they're way too accurate. They just pick things apart. I don't think Vampire Coast is like, as a faction, is like overpowered, but I think they have a couple of units that are just like really, really powerhouse units. But I mean, again, I think they're fine. I think Creative Assembly did a good job with them. Once people learn how to beat them, I mean, and people have learned, you know, it's very doable. But they're still competitive, which is good. They fit in well. Here we go. We're going to see if the Colossus and company are able to deal with the Shade play. I'll let them know to start anytime. Lokir is so hard to kill. Do you guys remember that early access game I had with Indie Pride where like Lokir fought Count Noxus for like 15 minutes on foot and just wasn't dying? He was like surrounded by like everything. It was insane. Come on, Sotek, finish this early. I need to watch another stream in a bit. Well, we'll see if Sotek's your man. So, Luther Harkin here and the boys. The Colossus is going to open up shop. Now, these shades are invisible, so they're all hidden right now. You can't see any of these bad boys. So they can scoot forward, they can get in optimal position, and they can start picking apart the Colossus. The Reaper Bolter play definitely pretty good here. If I were the Colossus, I would probably like head over to the tree line and then like move up and through there to mitigate some of the fire. He does have a Vampire Caster, so he's definitely playing for keeps. Invocation is going to be able to top this guy off, no problem. So it looks like Big Daddy Colossus is going to be falling back. How many of those guys does he have? So he actually has 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers. Okay, so he has 2 of them, and it looks like one of them actually got picked off. So the Noctis, not Noctis, but the Colossus was able to actually kill one of those guys with 1 or 2 volleys there, which is very solid. So the Shade Wraith Gunners are going to start shooting in. It looks like there is a Carronade as well. So the Carronade for Sotek is going to be able to counter the Reaper Bolt Throwers probably relatively efficiently. Shade Wraith Gunners are going to be shooting in, but they definitely are going to want to shoot onto some of the higher value targets. But these Shades are going to be a lot of trouble once they get in range. Luther Harkin is going to be the first to discover them. He flies forward, and if Sotek doesn't respond quickly, he could take a lot of damage. So very good stuff from Sotek. He's able to pull back before he flies directly into the face of those Shades. In the meantime, the Colossus has fallen back. He's going to start taking pot shots. Right now, the Vampire Coast needs to switch all of their guns onto the Shades. Everything else, you know, can be worn down through attrition, but the Shades and those other units are going to pick out your high-value targets and mitigate Luther's effectiveness. So you can see here the Shade Wraith Gunners are going to be picking at these Shades. Shade on shade action, which is always a good time. The Bleak Swords will probably beat the Zombie Pirate deckhand mobs in sustained combat, but they are getting a little bit beat up here. In the meantime, it looks like some of the deck droppers are kind of trolling in the distance, and they're going to be shooting at these Dark Riders. Or, I mean, honestly, you could just sit the deck droppers on top of the Reaper Bolt Throwers and probably kill them. That's probably something I would do. So the Shade Wraith Gunners are being focused on by 3 groups of Shades, which is pretty nasty. Luther Harkin coming up on the flank, preparing for a breath attack. He could actually probably charge in here right now. Luther should just get balls deep in these Shades. I mean, Lokir Felheart isn't going to be able to keep up with them per se, and it looks like he's actually sniping the Sorceress now. So he has used the Salon Gold, which is going to reduce the power recharge rate. Nice breath attack coming down right there. Dark Riders in the meantime are pressuring, and the Colossus in the back should be shooting at the Shades, and it looks like he probably is. Now, Vampire Coast has a lot of summons, so you have to remember that even when they look compromised, they can continue to summon. So he does summon a Gunnery Mob here, which is going to do some work. And here comes Luther. So Luther's coming with the Steel Chair, and he's going to do a ton of damage to this caster if he's able to keep chasing it. Yeah, look at that. He's just buttering that Sorceress up. Lokir Felheart, pretty powerful. He does have the Dreaded Duelist, which makes him pretty strong. Power Siphon going down on him. And the Shades are also just kind of punishing here. So Zardar Total War looks like he's in a pretty good position right now. The Dark Riders in the back were taken out, it looks like, by the Colossus. And the Deck Droppers, oh man, fly those Deck Droppers in there right now and take out those Bolt Throwers. That would be incredibly powerful. Luther Harkin is just getting trash canned. Like, he got put down pretty bad. But the Bouncer's power is still pretty even. The deckhand mobs with the support of the Vampire Fleet Captain were able to break through. And now these zombies are going to start chasing the Shades, which is going to kind of change the dynamic of things. The Vampire Fleet Captain as well, able to just goon this Sorcerer. So the Shades have been sent into melee, I think. No, they're actually trying to shoot Luther, but Luther's kind of kiting backwards, which is pretty strong. So the Colossus here is a little obstructed. He definitely wants to find a new target, and let's see what Sotek's doing with the Deck Droppers. So it looks like the Deck Droppers are still continuing to shoot these Dark Riders, but now I think Sotek sees that. He's like, hey, I have a freebie here. Let's just go ahead and shoot these Reaper Bolt Throwers and kind of take them out, and that's going to free up the Colossus play for the late game. So the Vampire Fleet Caster in pretty good shape. Lokir Felheart still grinding in the front line, but there are a lot of angry zombies here, guys, and they're still, you know, holding their own. Over here on the flank, the Halberds are holding off the Dread Spears, but, you know, that's probably going to be a matchup that'll favor the Dread Spears eventually. And Luther Harkin, though, I mean, even though he's beat up, he's still healing. He still is nowhere near his healing cap, so there could be some implications. But if this Vampire Fleet Captain gets taken out by Lokir Felheart, I think that's actually going to be game. I think that Sotek will probably lose from there. He really needs the implications of Nehek and the Drowned Dead, so hopefully, for Sotek's sake, he can pull him back, and hopefully for the sake of Zardar, he's able to get him with Lokir Felheart. So Lokir piling in here, and oh man, Lokir karate chops that Vampire Caster, which it's going to be really tough for Sotek to come back from that. A little bit of a lag spike here. Hopefully the players don't disconnect, but yeah, we'll find out in a second. I mean, even if I crash, hopefully the game keeps going. No. Bad. Let me double check my internet. Yeah, my internet looks like it's good. Checking here. I think this is a game that was looking like it was going to be a Dark Elf victory, but it certainly wasn't over. And Zardar Total War has been dropped. It could have been an internet thing, so we'll find out. We could just probably run that one back since he dropped. Sotek still could have won that for sure. He had a Colossus plus he had a Luther, so I don't think that... So I'll talk to the players real quick, and we're going to see what they want to do. So let's talk to the guys and go to the tournament. Second here. I know. That was a really good game too. So let me go ahead and talk to the guys. I mean, a lot of tournaments will just give someone a loss if they drop, but I feel like these guys are friends, and you know, we want a series, right? We don't want it to just be over on that note. That would be terrible. So yeah, he says it was his game client. So we're going to talk to the guys real quick. Yeah, we're going to rematch it. He wasn't close to winning. Sotek still could have won that. He had a Colossus, and Luther could have done some sniping. We're just going to replay, but they're going to pick new armies. We're just going to like move on and just kind of call it a bit of a scratch. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna replay it because it was a game client crash, and it's kind of, I mean, Total War is a game that does crash from time to time, so it's a little bit unfair to give someone a game loss. I mean, yeah, it hurts for sure. So yeah, he's gonna rejoin the lobby here. Let's go ahead and get Wookie back up. That was a good game so far, though, for sure. I think Zardar might have been able to win it, but even still, Sotek had a good chance. Sotek had, you know, Colossus. He had Luther who could have, you know, killed the caster and maybe even taken on Lokir. You know, the Colossus is really tough to kill as well, so. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah, we're going to rematch it. But we're going to let them... I'm giving them the option. I'm saying if they want to play the same ones, they can, or they can pick new factions. It's up to them. You know, and that's what one of the best things about these is that, like, you know, we try and make sure sportsmanship is, like, the most important thing. If people are going to be, like, you know, work with you and not, like, you know, cause dramatic situations when things go a little bit wrong, that's, like, the biggest test of, like, you know, who's going to be invited to these tournaments. Yeah, Total War does crash from time to time, so it looks like we're going to have Bretonnia versus Norska. All right, cool. Here we are. Hey, at least you got to see part of a game, right? Yeah, I mean, that game could have gone either way at that point. Sotek still had some pretty decent units. He had his deck droppers destroying the back line. He was picking apart the bolt throwers. He had a Colossus. Luther, of course, is very strong. I mean, granted, Zardar was in a very good position as well. He had just killed the caster. He had most of his troops online. His shades were in relatively good health. I mean, it was a back and forth game. Yeah, Jake, there's been a lot of good games today. This is actually the grand finals. Currently, Sotek is up 2-1. If he wins this, that's going to be it. And he's going to be claiming a piece of 8. Yeah. Now, I think this is traditionally a hard matchup for Bretonnia because of how good Famir and Throg are in this matchup. But again, Bretonnia can subvert your expectations and bring, like, you know, just totally unorthodox infantry builds with, like, tons of halberds and bows, and it can really, like, take apart Norska. So there's so many different ways to go about this. I'm quite eager to see how Zardar does this. So, yeah. See you later, Mark. Take care. Yeah. Yeah, that Lizardman game was really good versus the High Elves. Players picking their armies right now. We've got a rematch. Extra Total War content for you guys, right? Oh, man. I gotta pull that green screen a little bit further out. I want to show you guys my 40K stuff. I just don't have, like, a good handheld camera. It's so, like... Yeah, I need to get some better lighting equipment, too. Maybe soon. Although I should probably start saving for, like, new computer parts, too. My computer's getting a little dated. I got this thing in like 2016, I think, when I first started YouTube. It's still pretty good though. It runs the game quite smoothly. Yeah, I know. Britannia versus Norska. Norska has a huge advantage here. I mean, but if Zardar can win this, he'll be a true legend. For sure. The Muma kill, I don't think the Mammoths are pretty good. I don't think Mammoths are good here. Like, if you want to beat Britannia, you bring Famir with great weapons and Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. And you're just going to give them so much trouble. And then, like, some Norscan Hounds to chase down the Mounted Yeoman. And you're just going to, like, roll. Are you a wrestling fan? I used to be a wrestling fan when I was a kid, so I have those memories. Yeah, that's why I always mention the steel chair thing. Pro wrestling, quote unquote. Oh man, Jerry, thank you for the donation. I like to think it crashed so I could watch more. Arriving late has been mitigated by the fates. Yeah, that was just for you apparently, huh? 980 GPU. Wow. Okay. You're going hard in the paint, man. Thankfully, a lot of the popular games are like, you know, aren't. Total War is pretty intensive, but a lot aren't, right? Wookiee's still blocking it up, doing a good job for the people. Yeah, I'm liking Sotek's army. It's pretty good. A little bit different than what I bring, but not by much. It's pretty strong. We'll see. I hope that Zardar just like totally subverts our expectations and just brings like the weirdest army, like triple Royal Hippogriff Knight or something, you know? Flies in. Yeah, I don't know. He's going to have to, though. This is a really uphill battle for Britannia. Like, really, really tough, actually. Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree in business and marketing and communications and stuff. Yeah. It's a business degree. Yeah. Great help that did. I wish I had just like started YouTube as soon as I got out of like high school. That would have been. I mean, although it did help me get my first couple jobs, which helped me become financially stable. So, before YouTube. Valnir, I didn't really get a chance to play Dark Souls because when it came out, like that was when my hands first got really bad, so I wasn't able to play video games for like a year and a half, give or take. Yeah. So unfortunately, I never got a chance to do it. Your PC is from 2008. Holy shit. 2008 is fucking. Oh, excuse my language. It's a long time ago. Oh my goodness. I remember 2008. I was like playing World of Warcraft till like 5 a.m. every day. God damn, those were dark times. All right, Wookiee's taken care of. Here we go. So the forces of Norska, definitely a very solid army from the Lore Master of Sotek. You know, definitely a very brave Bretonnian over there coming into the sunset with a bit of a hard matchup, right? Throg, anti-large, armor-piercing, frostbite. Knights come in, they get frostbit, and they get beaten down. It's tough. On top of that, two groups of Famir warriors with the great weapons, also a very solid choice at dealing with Bretonnian Knights. Bretonnian Knights may have anti-large, but they have poor armor-piercing. 100 armor here is going to be really mean and good melee defense. Berserkers in the front line can handle pretty much anything. However, they die very quickly to missile pressure and cycle charging from cav, so there is some give and take in that front. Two groups of the Marauder Hunters with javelins. In the back, Sotek does have some Marauder spears. We have a Famir Balefiend with the Lore of Shadows. So he does have Enfeebling Foe, Melkos, and Pendulum. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, high and tight Norscan army. Couple dogs, Beasts of Tashnar, and Norscan Ice Wolf to deal with, skirmish from Bretonnia, which is going to be strong. And yeah, that's it. And for the forces of the Lady, for Bretonnia, we got two groups of the Knights of the Realm. I mean, they can put a dent in Famir. And the thing about Famir is, if you can get like really good alpha strikes on Famir warriors and break their leadership, that's where you win. Because you break them, even if they're like healthy, you can chase them off the battlefield. That's how you really do it. On top of that, we do have Alberic de Mimolo. Yeah, Alberic de Mimolo here. He's good. He's got his trident. It looks like, no, he does not have his trident, but does he have his trident? No, he has a sword, I think, right? Yeah. Anyways. For the armies of Bretonnia, front line of men-at-arms, secondary line of battle pilgrims, and then we got some foot squires, some archers in the back, and only one halberd. Oh, but look at this. In the sunset, we do have the Royal Hippogriff Knight. So, yeah, these guys have massive AP. And, I mean, if they can rear charge the Famir and get those charges when the Famir are fighting infantry, that could be really strong. So there is some good options for Bretonnia here. Now, for a caster, we do have a Jade Wizard, which if you're going for expensive units like Royal Hippogriff Knights, it's pretty much a must-bring. So, wow. Start when ready. We're going to see how this goes. Oh, my God. I think Norska still has a big advantage, but maybe Bretonnia can pull a bit of an upset here. I mean, they do have a Grail Relic, so that's going to like let them fight for quite some time. Yeah. Yeah. 2008. 2008 was a good year. I was running track in college. I was running the 100-meter dash and the 400. I would go to track practice every day at 6 in the morning, and then also in the afternoon, and then I would get home and play WoW until 1 a.m., and then I would get 4 or 5 hours of sleep until the next day's track practice. God, horrible. So the Knights of Bretonnia coming in for a chubby charge right out of the gates. The Knights of the Realm thinking about maybe going after these Berserkers, which is a good idea. If they peel out this direction, you're able to get away. But if Zardar leaves those guys in, that is going to be bad. He responds with the Melkos, which is good. And honestly, he took more damage than he gave, so that probably wasn't worth it. So those Knights of the Realm definitely need to fall back and kind of rethink their priorities. Maybe maybe fight some of the doggos or other things like that. Over here on the far side, though, we have some big boys. Some of these Royal Hippogriff Knights charging in on the Berserkers. They do pick off a model, but from there they're going to fall back. So Bretonnia getting ready for the main fight. Men at Arms are going to be engaging Berserkers. Lovely, lovely engagement for them. And I don't know where Alberic's going to go. It looks like he's going to land here and try and fight some of the Fimir, which is a bold strategy. Cotton Heroic Killing Blow, all those different abilities being popped. And it looks like all the Bretonnian Knights are going to be charging here into these Fimir, which will, I don't know, that's going to work out. Should be interesting. So the archers in the meantime are just shooting in. It looks like they're going after the Fimir or some of the javelins in the back. Those javelins are doing a lot of work. And it looks like the Royal Hippogriff Knights are kind of dancing up in the skies, taking javelins, which is not fun for them. They should be over here. The Royal Hippogriff Knights should be over here, rear charging and kind of, punishing this formation. Or maybe, going back here is okay, but they're going to be getting crossfired. And some of these Frost Dogs could push back there. This is an expensive unit to be flying back here and just going after archers with. In the meantime, Sotek is kind of chasing them down with spears. They're going to do some work and maybe kill these guys relatively quickly, but nonetheless, it's a little bit tough. In the front line, Footsquires and the Bretonnians are putting up a fight. The Grail Relique is kind of keeping things going, but still, it's not really like a sustainable option. Uncle Albert and the archers are going to be focused firing down the other javelins, which is quite a good engagement, but Knights of the Realm are just not up to snuff against these Fimir, as well as these Berserkers and spears here. And yeah, you can see that the Royal Hippogriff Knights are just not happy. So here they come, probably going to charge into the Berserkers. I wonder if they're going to come back here. Yeah, and Uncle Albert is not in a good situation. There's Norskin Ice Doggies back here, and those guys have Frostbite. The Bretonnians are holding quite valiantly, though, and here comes a rear charge. The Hippogriff Knights are going to charge into the back of these Fimir and doing a little bit of damage on the charge, which is definitely quite nice. There could potentially be a big Bretonnian heal right here, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Berserkers are eventually just going to work their way through, and Uncle Albert is just being dragged down by the dogs. Definitely not looking good for him. There's spears, there's Fimir. If the Fimir are able to pile back here and fight too, yeah, I think this is going to be it. If Albert just gets dragged down by the dogs here, despite the noble efforts of Bretonnia, oh man, wouldn't it like an AoE be really nice right here right now? But the Royal Hippogriff Knights come in. They do some really good damage against Fimir, but the javelin pressure from Sotek has just been too much. He's able to pepper those guys down, and I think he was a little bit sloppy with Albert. Letting Albert get caught is the reason why the balance of power is kind of tilting right now. And obviously the Royal Hippogriff Knights, he should have probably used those Knights of the Realm to get into the back and just hunt down these Marauder Javelins. I think that would have been a little bit more efficient, because from here it just looks like Uncle Albert is not going to be able to do it. If Bretonnia came back from this, that would just be legendary. The Grail Relique is really helping them hold things in place, but the Royal Hippogriff Knights are gone. Albert's gone. There's a Wizard. There's Berserkers coming around the flank. Zardar Total War is going to rush out with some of these Footsquires to kind of intercept those guys, but I don't know if he's going to have enough. The Peasant Archers in the back have been doing good, though. They've been shooting in, doing at least good HP damage, and it looks like Royal Hippogriff Knights have one model. Yeah, one model here. Uncle Albert is trotting through the forest, trying to get away from Fimir and dogs. The Bretonnians do have a pocket of strength. These halberds are holding firm, and they are working down the Fimir warriors. I think had he gone with just a massive infantry build with archers and halberds, I think he might have been onto something and been able to kind of hold here. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Albert's being beaten down by Fimir now in the forest. He's probably going to fight to the bitter end with Heroic Killing Blow and Regrowth. Archers are being just cleaved by these Berserkers here. And yeah, it looks like Throg. Is that a little bit of Throg throw up there? I'm not sure. Yeah, anyways, Marauder Hunters with Javelins is continuing to throw in, uninterrupted for most of this game. The Grail Relique is finally failing. The sight of their Knights of the past is failing the Bretonnians here, as they're going to be collapsed on pretty much all fronts. Looks like a bit of a retreat here. Archers falling back. Albert's still fighting quite proudly in the forest, and the one Royal Hippogriff Knight is going to be charging in to help out a little bit. And it definitely might terrorize some of those guys. It does cause terror, but even still, the Grail Relique is the last thing fighting, and it looks like that's going to be it. I think Lore Master of Sotek is going to take this one. Yep. Bretonnia is this is their, I think this is one of their worst matchups. I don't know why, because they're doing gentlemen's picks. So they're basically sitting in chat together, and just being like, hey, I'll play this, I'll play this. Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you? So I'm surprised that Zardar was willing to take Bretonnia into Norsca, because that is just like a hard counter. Anyways, it can be won by Bretonnia, but I think you just got to go super heavy with infantry, halberds, and peasant archers, and just grind them to pieces with the Fey Enchantress. I really think that's the way to go, because they're too good at catching things like this. Or javelins or anti-large tools are just too powerful. So right now you can see that Alberic is going to be making his glorious last stand. The Knights of Bretonnia coming in here, but Alberic is going to be clubbed by Throg. And yeah, you can see he's wavering due to army losses. So well played to the lads. Yeah, Knight Errants are actually pretty good as well, Hargrobius. You have a good point. And thank you to Rohit for the $5 donation. Really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. So, Lore Master of Sotek is going to be our champion of the day. The man, the myth, the legend himself is going to be claiming one of our pieces of 8. Let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. And he's going to be moving on to the grand finals, which is going to be in January. And we have one qualifier left, guys. The next one is going to have, we have Dov playing in the next one. The other spots, of course, I'll tell you guys the day of. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. So, yeah. Lore Master of Sotek taking the finals 3-1. Some very, very good games there. It was definitely quite a bit of fun. And yeah, very well played to Zardar Total War. I mean, he did an outstanding job throughout the entire tournament. And yeah, Zardar negotiation skill 0. Oh man, that's really funny. The Ice Wolves are beastly for sure. Now, yeah, Bretonia, I mean, the Royal Hippogriff Knights, I kind of like the idea of them, actually. I feel like you might be able to make them work. Like, just tons of infantry with maybe just them. Cut the Knights of the Realm and just, like, cycle charge effect. It's hard, though. You need to shut down those guys in the back. And I think someone in chat, Hargrovius, had a great point that if you brought, like, 3 or 4 Knight Errants and just, like, use them to harass the back line, deal with the Javelins, and take care of the dogs, like, that would have freed up a lot of opportunity as well. So, yeah, Sotek did it. And guys, please make sure to check out Lore Master of Sotek's YouTube channel if you haven't. He's an awesome member of this community. He makes great lore videos. I collab with him quite a bit, and he also is always willing to play in the tournaments last minute if I need someone. So he's really, you know, a big supporter and just an awesome dude all around. So please make sure to check out Lore Master of Sotek's channel. And same for Zardar Total War. If you guys are looking for a campaign, I know he plays a lot of different Total War games. He's doing Thrones, he's doing Total War, Warhammer. He plays a bunch of them, and he also plays on Legendary, very hard. He's definitely a very solid campaign player, and as well as multiplayer. I don't know what the ratio of multiplayer to campaign is, but please also make sure to check out Zardar Total War if you haven't. There will absolutely be a link to both of their channels in the comment section and description in the post video. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I know it's very late for those of you guys in Europe and other parts of the world, in China and India, just all over the place. I know it's quite late for you guys. So please make sure to get some rest there. And we'll be back with some hot action in the next couple weeks. So yeah, that'll be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And yes, let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets. I forgot to move it up. Yeah, anyways, Lore Master of Sotek. We can move him to the finals. He can be the grand champion here in the middle. Just cue the epic music. Cue it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Very well played to all of our competitors today. Let's hear a big round of applause for, let's go look at all the lads here. For Roz, Lore Master of Sotek, Zardar Total War, and Yankee Mosh Pit. Hell yes. Definitely quite a bit of fun. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you guys in maybe midweek. It's probably going to be next weekend, though. It'll probably be next Sunday. So if you guys are looking for some more Hot Flash or ESL, or Eternal Challenger League, ECL, make sure to join next Sunday. Thanks again, guys. Have an excellent night. And, oh, you'll see the vampire build soon. Don't worry. Take care, guys. Cheers.